it happened on the same night though. It gets on my goddamn nerves.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? You know what?
It's 2025. We don't need Lesnar.
But Jay, do you know what's so crazy about what you just said right now though? Like I know you hate that it happened on the same night, but I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people dead forgot Brock showed up. I think a lot of people,
but I'm saying I think WWE did that on purpose. I think that they wanted people to. They didn't want social media to be a buzz about. Oh, look at Triple H bringing back this person. Let's look at the text messages that were leaked to remind ourselves of how much of a fucking dirtbag Brock Lesnar is. Now everyone's talking about AJ Lee, which to their credit, it worked. It worked like Flynn, but I don't know. Regardless of the even if you set aside the heinous story and accusations of Brock Lesnar's involvement with Janelle Grant, and God knows who else, because if it happened to one person, it probably happened to somebody else that just hasn't come forward yet. Even if you set all of that aside, it's 2025. We've gotten the best out of Brock Lesnar that we're ever going to get. I didn't care to see him against John Cena. I mean, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar has been a spectacle in the past, but they've never had great matches. And that's just not what I'm looking for in John Cena's last year. And then to bring him back on the same night as AJ Lee for the reasons that they did it, and Triple H can gaslight us all he wants. We know why he did it on the same night. Come on, give me a fucking break. So yeah, WWE was smart because the story this weekend and the story this week has been AJ Lee, not Brock Lesnar. I'm just of the opinion that even if the story wasn't what it was, we don't need Brock Lesnar in 2025. We've moved past him. Yeah, I just don't care anything at all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like that's like because I remember the night he came back. I think for sure was more so shocked than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think once the shock, it's like because we've been like, dang, well, so much for the Gunther match, so much for like that man, and so I feel like it was more shock than anything. But then once that shock wore off, we're like, bruh, what are we doing? Okay, you got your moment. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
As far as AJ Lee goes, I feel like, oh my gosh, sorry, I just saw something. I feel like when it comes to AJ Lee, because and I said it in my video, I feel like a lot of it was wishful thinking over the years. Like for sure, last Rumble, it was like, bro, if y'all don't bring her back now, like when are you gonna do it? You know what I mean? So I think with her, finally the timing kind of lined up. I low-key think this had been a plan since the end of Mania when they knew they were going to go with Seth and, bring Becky eventually into the fold. I think all of that's been kind of, lined up. We just obviously, you never know until you get there, right? But I think all of that's been kind of lined up. But I kind of want to go a different route with this because I'm not gonna lie, even though it's not on the same level, clearly, she doesn't have the world title. She's not doing, 2,000-day reigns and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, everybody keep coming back for Becky.
I know what I was about to say. I know what you're gonna say.
And everybody keep coming back for Becky.
Yeah.
And she got a mid-card title right now. Everybody keep coming back for this woman. Like the Trish then came back for Becky. Nikki Bella then came back for Becky because she was in the Rumble and then we didn't see her till when? Until she started doing the Becky program. Now, in one of the biggest stories WWE is telling today,
I mean, you
AJ
could say
Lee then came back.
You can say the same thing for Seth. I mean, look at Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came back whenever it was Seth, and then you also have CM Punk came back whenever Seth. Now it's AJ Lee came back whenever it's Seth.
Seth, I mean, it was supposed to be Punk and Seth.
Right.
I mean, it was, but like,
I'd also just like to remind everyone, just borrow G's thing to play devil's advocate. I do want to remind everyone of the state of WWE the last time Seth and Becky were on top. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, trust me.
I'm not saying there's a causality. I'm not saying there's a causality. I'm just saying last time Seth and Becky were on top may have been the worst era of professional wrestling we've ever. That's number one.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate to that because number one, It didn't help that they were portraying Seth Rollins as the man's man. That didn't help.
That was horrible.
for the
That
story.
was bad.
And number two, we got to remember their biggest feud was with Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
That
So
was
that
their only
didn't
feud.
help
That was
either.
their only feud.
That was like
So you don't want to see that again?
that was like
their only
the main
feud.
feud. That was like the main feud. This is Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins we're talking about. This is going to be 10 times better, 10 times bigger, because now you have two power couples that feel equal on the same level. Like Seth and Becky are up here, but when they're feuding with Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, there's a huge gap in that. Like they're not at that echelon. Becky and Seth are right up there with CM Punk and AJ Lee. So it's very equal. Now, I mean, granted, 2019 was one of the worst years ever. We do understand that. But I feel like this will be a lot better based off who they're going to feud with. And Seth's character and Becky's character are a lot different now. Like, I don't see Seth portraying the man's man anymore.
It just
It didn't work as baby faces.
It all feels very familiar because Seth and Becky are champions and Brock Lesnar's interrupting title matches. It's starting to feel very 2019 is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean,
it's all fun and games still.
Yeah, it's all fun and games.
It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games till Bronson Reed tsunamis AJ. So
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy.
Hey man, I feel like AJ will be like.
I think so too. But she is like 95 pounds soaking wet. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's a bump they want to risk. I don't know if that's a bump they want to risk.
She'd be like, do it. She'd be like, I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
Braun,
I know we still need to get Ryan
come
on the AJ Lee thing, but just by the way, I always publicly announce when I'm wrong about somebody. I did it for Nia Jax. Just while we're on the subject, I was completely wrong about Bronson Reed. I'm completely sold on Bronson Reed. I'm in. I'm all in.
He sold
me. He sold me. Shula Fala, Tribal Thief, but not only that, he went into again. I'm sorry, I'm getting this off track, but the fact that he went into a match with Roman Reigns. And that match could have been terrible. Let's face it. We all love Roman, but that match could have been terrible. And it was phenomenal. It was great. So, yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold on Bronson.
Bronson Reed is the only thing that holds him back is just we don't look at him in the same light as Breakker, obviously, because we know that he's coming next guy. But I would say right now, Bronson Reed's a bigger threat. Like on the roster, he's more of an opposing threat than Braun Breakker right now. That's the guy you want to avoid. Right there, that's the guy that you don't want to mess with. I mean, Braun Breaker's another one too, but those tsunamis, bro, like man.
Now he should have beaten Roman. By the way, if Roman was going to be out for this amount of time anyway, I think it would have done wonders for Bronson Reed. Even if you're setting up for the spear to finish, and
I mean, beating Roman would have been cool, but
Paul Heyman trips Roman, right, and that causes him to lose. I didn't say it had to be clean. I'm just saying a visual pinfall over Roman would have done wonders for Bronson.
No, I can feel you on that. I just think I think we all kind of see Roman's going to be the reason CM Punk gets that title back because he's going to cost Seth Rollins, and I think now if this would have been Braun Breakker 1-on-1. Yeah, Braun Breakker would have had to win that match. I'm not gonna lie, Braun Breakker would have had to win that match. Yeah. And I get it's the power dynamic. Unfortunately, I think we all know Bronson Reed, for as great as he is, because I was advocating even before he joined this group. I was like, you give him a little time, he win that Seth feud. I can see him fighting Gunther, right? So I've been a fan of Bronson since he kind of started doing this tsunami kill everybody gimmick. But yeah, now I'm with you, Jade.
It sort of reminds me of the Hall of Pain. It's very reminiscent of Hall of Pain Mark Henry. The look that he has on his face, the way he presents himself, just everything about it.
Yeah, Hall of Pain was a good time. Ryan, I'll let you get your thoughts on the AJ.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Jump in.
No, it's just cool. Finally coming to fruition. And if it's not the Rumble, if it's not at Mania, if it's not the night after WrestleMania, she's finally back. And then you don't realize how important and influential is, no pun intended on what this episode is going to be, but how much people were yearning for her and how much people she got across to and really helped get into the WWE. So it was really cool to see her get that moment. And it was like, I could see the nerves in Punk's face for her. So I can only imagine the gratification that she had with that massive pop. I saw something where the decibel level was higher at this night's SmackDown than decibel level when Punk came back at the Survivor Series. And someone measured it or whatever. And I thought that was pretty cool. Well, here's the thing. It's like a different pop. Like
Right.
with
Yeah.
Punk, it was a shock pop. This
Yeah.
was an anticipation pop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I want to know the decimals for Punk's AEW return versus this one, because that I feel like those are like, because we've already seen Punk earlier that year, and like him coming back to WWE was huge, but like we knew he was back in wrestling, so it's kind of like it could happen, but we weren't expecting. We were expecting it, I think, less than the AJ Lee, which are a lot less than the AJ.
So you
Lee.
were
AEW
like,
marks
shocked
do
you didn't
tend to
have
be
that
loud.
big pop when you finally heard the Light It Up.
That-
you like roar. Everyone
Yeah.
was ready. To
That was
And Ryan,
Me-
did I
me-
not say last week, because you were here, did I not say an AJ Lee return would have one of the bigger pops of that we've seen in recent 10, 15 years? Did I not say that? Mo, where you at? Stop ducking.
Me
did.
personally, I feel like if they would have kicked off the show with the return of AJ Lee, I feel like it could have gotten those decimals just like AEW. But because like that was the main thing that AEW did and that I appreciated is, I mean, they sold a whole arena out on a rumor. I mean, yeah, it was the worst, best kept secret, but at the same time, like they literally sold a whole arena out in Chicago over a rumor, and they kicked off the show with the return of CM Punk. I feel like if they did that with AJ Lee, I feel like we could see those same decimals. I feel like it
and
could be
that
better.
brings us back to the Brock Lesnar problem, Johnny, because they were never going to.
I don't even know.
AJ Lee had to come out after Brock Lesnar, or else everyone was going to leave that show talking about Brock Lesnar.
True.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Brock Lesnar would have came out, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. You look at that whole SmackDown as a whole. I think Brock Lesnar or not, they had to say that for the end, because they would not.
I was going to say that
they would not have cared about anything on that show,
bro. Let me tell y'all what I did with SmackDown. Right, I had SmackDown on my computer. I pressed mute, and then I was watching YouTube until 9:45. I said, okay, this seems about time. I saw Seth Rollins' managed interest. I said, this is perfect time. I did not watch a single thing on SmackDown until I saw Seth Rollins come out, and only because I knew AJ Lee was coming out, not because of Seth Rollins.
Right.
Yeah, the only
I will say though, I think the show, take aside the AJ Lee return, I mean, granted, when the bar is already in hell, right? But I think the show was actually pretty good considering.
It's okay, yeah.
Like Brock Lesnar, I get sour taste in everybody's mouth because we really don't need it. But the match that Sammy and Cena were having, aside from my personal bias to Sami Zayn and how much I don't like that guy right now, the match was good.
The match was fire.
Hate that they made him look like Sammy Hogan.
I
hate that they made him look like Super Sammy. If he's an underdog, but
I love how John is just out there doing what the fuck ever now.
Yeah, like literally, you can pull out any move, dude.
Jane, if this is the John we gonna get, why are we not running AJ Styles again? Why?
Because we got to do Brock Lesnar, G baby. Everyone wants Brock Lesnar. Everyone's been calling on Twitter for John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Oh wait, no, they've been calling for AJ Styles, just like he just fucking said. I don't know, dude. I
don't know. Look, John Cena clearly showing he can still hoop. Like I don't know what he was doing from April to August, because he clearly showing he can still. I thought the Cody match was like, this probably gonna be as good as it's gonna get, and he been hooping. So like, what are we
listen,
doing?
Malik said it on. I think he said it on here before too, but I've definitely seen Malik say it in TikTok video. The John Cena heel turn was just too little, too late. I mean, at this point in his career, we didn't need it. We didn't need it. And now we're seeing what John could have been capable of if we just let him cook for 12 months. And it kind of pisses me off. Even I was already pissed off with the John Cena thing because of fucking Travis Scott wasting all of our time by being a little bitch backstage. And so I'm already pissed about that. I'm pissed that The Rock started the whole thing and then just decided to not look like a wrestler, which kudos to him if that's what he wants to do. But to just start this whole thing and then disappear and just not look like a wrestler anymore. So it was all just a big waste of time. This whole year with John Cena feels like a big waste of time now that we see what he could have been doing this whole year.
His matches haven't been the issue all year. That's the thing that surprised me the most of anything. But
it's just the energy in the room when he performs. Like it feels
now.
Every time he goes out there and wrestles as a babyface, it feels like WrestleMania.
His babyface arc is different, but he's been having good matches all year.
And there were highlights to the heel stuff. The reverse pipe bomb was excellent. I love the reverse pipe bomb. the initial promo with the kid, breaking up with the kid was great. But overall, I just think we were robbed of John Cena's final year.
Yeah,
It just
because John Cena as a heel for me didn't start cooking until he got to the CM Punk match.
Right.
That's when it really started to cook.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, when he got to CM Punk.
I agree.
Like, even though the Randy Orton stuff was cool and like we got the truth, you know what I mean?
Truth is another matter entirely. Don't get me started on
yeah. I mean, how? So let me ask this genuine question: how much are y'all actually watching SmackDown? I understand if you're not watching it at all. Yeah. Honestly, Truth still has that character.
Right now,
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, no, Truth, I know. I watch SmackDown on repeat on YouTube because I don't have I was using my parents' dish login, but after their house burned down, they don't have it anymore, so now I can't use it anymore. So I just watch YouTube highlights. But yeah, I know that's my
I'm live.
I can spend this whole show talking about Brock Lesnar and R-Truth. Just don't let me. I can't.
Okay,
I can't do it today.
I'm sorry, Jade. I won't do it.
I can't do it.
I'm sorry.
I'm live every Friday on
Big
YouTube.
No fraud, Triple H. Sorry.
I watch it frequently, even though I do know that it is very, very slow, and the buildup is just not there. But thank God it's a 2-hour show. That's all I gotta say.
SmackDown was 3 hours. When it was 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh, it would be brutal.
I was watching it when it was 3 hours, and I skipped that last hour entirely. I couldn't.
That shit was brutal.
It was pretty rough.
That's why I DVR.
But this
fast forward through commercials.
Me personally,
fast forward through the first 15 minutes of a match. Fast forward through commercials. What's the finish? What's the angle? That's what I.
You might as well just watch the YouTube clips, brother. What the hell?
I got DVR. Might as well.
What Raw and SmackDown desperately need right now, in my opinion, is a draft. Because Raw needs some of SmackDown's tag teams, and SmackDown needs some of Raw's women's star power. All the big women's stars are on Raw. All the good tag teams are on SmackDown, and it makes the shows incredibly imbalanced. They need to do a draft and get some of that talent mixed in.
No, they did. They did the portal. You don't remember the
portal? The NIL transfer portal, man.
That portal leads directly to
SmackDown. How you think Sammy on SmackDown? How you think Sammy on SmackDown?
Sammy on SmackDown doesn't fix the problems and
he's a little late.
SmackDown needs women's star power. Raw needs tag teams. Sammy doesn't solve either of those problems.
Jay, you wanted to play devil's advocate to actually do my gimmick, right?
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen when they do the draft? You know what's gonna happen, Jay?
You about to piss me off, G? What?
All they're gonna do is move 5 tag teams to Raw and move 4 women to SmackDown and not fix the problem. That's all they're gonna do. They're gonna say,
We're gonna get Alpha Academy versus LW on SmackDown.
Hey, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna move EO to SmackDown in the first round and then move Rhea Ripley in the third.
Yeah.
Crazy is like we just think of like what's the most laziest way that we can think of that WWE would do, and then they do much worse. That's the crazy thing.
Hey, you know what they should do? Unless you're a champion, everybody should just flip sides.
That's crazy.
You work Mondays and you work Fridays. Just flip the whole lot.
NXT.
Now we got new challengers.
NXT swaps with Evolve. Let's go. Obafemi's going to Evolve.
No, that's terrible.
Oh, hey.
Obafemi in front of like 10 people involved.
And then they're gonna call up. And then they're gonna call up 5 NXT people and not give them nothing to do.
Yep.
And then they're gonna rehire Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin's gonna go on the run of his life, and they're gonna release him again.
Hey,
not doing anything with him.
At least Kiana James is on TV.
I'm not gonna lie though. Evolve clear SmackDown.
Oh my God.
She's doing something.
No, G Baby is actually spitting facts, bro.
That's what I do.
Said bring back Baron Corbin.
No, that's literally
that's how they do.
That's literally.
Oh my God,
so
it's literally what they do, bar for bar.
To today's topic, we're going to be talking about some of the most influential wrestlers in the history of wrestling. Some people that may have impacted us, or people that we know have impacted the wrestling industry as a whole, bias or non-bias effect. So we spoke about AJ Lee a little bit, so we can dive into her since she just came back. I feel like it's only appropriate. You could always say this hashtag line. You can never say never in pro wrestling. People,
no,
I hate when people always try to say that person will never come back. Every time somebody says that, just know they always come back. They always, especially the WWE. It's been proven. The history, the facts are there. There are many people you thought would never return. The Ultimate Warrior, they made a whole DVD tarnishing this man's legacy. Came back. Bruno Sammartino was gone, steroid trial, all that stuff, came back. Bret Hart screwed by the entire company, comes back. CM Punk, he would never come back. He's back. Goldberg, never going to come back to wrestling. He comes back. Brock Lesnar left wrestling. He was in a lawsuit with them about, when he left and everything, and he sued the WWE and all that stuff.
Now he's in a different lawsuit.
Now he's in a whole different lawsuit.
World keeps on spinning.
And they didn't wait for that to bring that nigga back. They said,
Crazy.
come on.
Nate, that's
They
crazy.
said,
That's
They said, hey, Triple H said, allegations or conviction? Come on.
Hey, just so y'all know, the lawyers
Just
didn't
watch this
clear him.
shit.
Where our legal team did. He's cleared. Bring him back. You gotta let it play out.
I don't want to see Triple H in court because he's just going to have one big ass promo when they put him on the stand.
I did a video back in May. This is how crazy it is. I did a TikTok video back in May of predicting what potentially could happen at SummerSlam. And I said, what if Becky Lynch actually is the fourth member of the Seth Rollins faction? And I said, then all of a sudden they bring back AJ Lee, and then it's AJ Lee versus it's a tag team. I said it's a tag team of CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And I said that back in May. Here we are, and it came to fucking life, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I kind of knew when once I saw Becky Lynch unhood at the pay-per-view, I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's
Here
awesome.
comes AJ Lee. So
I loved it.
I will say, just while we're talking, getting back to the subject, influential. I think the biggest difference for me that I saw between AJ Lee and CM Punk's returns, which I think are pretty comparable in how they happened. They were both gone about the same amount of time. Obviously, AJ Lee was directly impacted by CM Punk's treatment at the hands of WWE and the medical crew. So I think it all fits together. So I think it's fair to compare them. And I think looking at the reactions on TikTok and Twitter, I think the biggest thing I can say, the difference between the two returns is CM Punk's was all excitement, all hype, all holy shit, I can't believe this, oh my God. AJ Lee's has been a lot more emotional than CM Punk's was. Like, people care that AJ Lee is. It's not just, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. It means something to them, which I didn't expect. Like, I didn't know that AJ Lee had this impact. Like, I knew that wrestlers thought a great deal of her. I've seen Becky Lynch talk about her and things like that in the past. So I know that professional wrestlers think a great deal of AJ Lee, but the emotion that I've seen, and not just women, the men too, that I've seen come from people in response to AJ Lee's return is something I didn't expect. But that's the biggest difference to me. And that's how obviously it's inarguable how much of an impact AJ Lee has had on the business. And I didn't even know about that impact, but she's impacted the performers because they talk about her all the time and how great she was and how important she was. And then now I'm seeing it from a fan direction too. Yeah. So obviously her return is just not just one of the best, but I think from what I've seen, probably one of the most important returns that we've seen in a long time.
I mean, she left right before that women's evolution took off. So there was always curiosity there. Like, how good can she really be in this modern era when women's wrestling has evolved so much? Because she comes from the Divas era where they were limited with matches, promos, and everything. And she was somebody, even though she's from the Divas era, she never really felt like an actual diva attached to WWE.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah,
she was having storylines with the.
She was the best one on the roster, in my opinion.
She was having storylines with the guys. You know, she was somebody that stood out differently with their character arc. Like, she felt different than everybody else. So she made herself stand out, which was very important. But the two biggest of the Divas era, probably popularity-wise and influential to women, are probably Nikki Bella and AJ Lee from that time frame, who had impact on people, you know, within that time frame in that era, like just in that particular time. So, you know, AJ Lee's return's always been curious because, like, I want to see what she can do. I want to see AJ versus Rhea, AJ versus Bianca. I want to see AJ versus, you know, Bayley, like all these people that we could possibly get. I want to see what she can really do in the good era of women's wrestling, where they can actually go out there and have good matches and tell good stories, opposed to having 4-minute matches on TV, and you may get an 8-minute match on pay-per-view, and you gotta hurry up or your time will get cut.
Because I don't want to play. I'm not playing devil's advocate, but G always brings it up all the time. We talk about like someone like Natalya, or when you used to talk about Bret Hart, it's kind of like Kareem. Like were you just good because you were playing with plumbers, or are you actually good? Like, are you actually a hooper? Like when it comes to you being with other hoopers, and I think AJ can hang in there with. Obviously on the mic, but in the ring, I think she can. But she's got a lot to prove on this run. She's got a lot.
Right. Well,
because her character or promo, I'm not concerned about her character. Or
it's just a match.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Right.
When that bell ring though, that's what I want.
Well, because here's the thing, Nate. Because I've said this before, maybe not in recent time, but when it comes to AJ Lee, yes, she left right before they went to the Paige, Becky, and Sasha. Now she was gone right before.
Literally months.
But if we remember, you know what? I mean, to me, I won't speak for nobody else. I don't think the reason they brought them up is because Nikki Bella and that whole team, it was just unbearable to me. Right? There might have been good moments in there, but that was unbearable. That it was horrific. I feel like I think, and even though we can say what we want about her now, Paige to an extent as well, but more so, I know, Nate, I know, but AJ Lee more specifically, AJ Lee to me was the cause of this woman's evolution. She just left right before they actually decided to do something with it.
Wasn't she the one
That's
that
all
facts? Tweet?
All facts, no printer.
What'd you say, Ryan?
They'll give Divas a chance.
Yeah, she was the one that wrote the initial tweet that Stephanie had to respond to by saying women are not getting enough time. Women do not get the attention backstage. But whatever she said, and then when Stephanie came on camera or wrote the tweet saying, "We hear you," or whatever, I'm pretty sure that was the AJ Lee initial tweet, the one that kind of kicked off this revolution.
And it might have been. I'm not too sure about
there was
that
a match.
because
There was a match on Raw with like the Bellas and some other people.
Where
like
Paige and Emma, I think
they had it was like a 2-minute match or something. Like, and it was.
I don't even think it was 2 minutes. I think
it might have been shorter than that. People were like, "Bro, what is this?" Like, they supposedly this is supposed to be your champion and your biggest group for the women's division. They can't even get 3 minutes in the ring, bro. Like, what is going on here? Like,
so that's why, like, I feel like AJ Lee, during her time and her peak, I feel like she was actually like she made people care about that division. And then obviously it started like right before she left, right before they actually started caring about the division. But to me, AJ Lee was always like that catalyst to where it was like, okay, a women's division is something we can care about now. And then we get the Paiges, the Beckys, the Charlottes, and then obviously eventually we know what NXT becomes, the Baileys and the Alexa. I mean, because if you think about it, all the top women, right? I mean, they had no choice if you really think about it. But all the top women and the top stars from WWE now all came because of that. Yeah. Right? I don't know if we get a multitude of Bianca, Rhea, Io, Bayley, Alexa, Becky, maybe Charlotte still gets it regardless because she's a Flair. But I don't know if we get that many people if this is still a Divas division. If they're still getting them 2-3 minutes. I don't know if we get all of that. And if we want to keep it a buck, I get the impact Nikki Bella had, especially popularity-wise, the reality show. There's people that started watching WWE because of the reality show. I get that. I will never take that away. But again, that run when she was on top was not good. Like, I remember it being a lot of bad, and it was kind of like, this women's evolution is happening because they have to, not because they want to. Like, that's how
I'll give Nikki credit, though, when they actually start bringing those women. She was cooking.
She had some good matches for sure. I'm not going to say she, didn't. I'll put it like this. Nikki Bella held her own to an extent. Like, she held her own for her.
She just needed more.
Although her and Becky Lynch, I don't know if I've ever seen two wrestlers have less chemistry than they have in the ring together. Nikki and Becky need to stay far away from each other because when they're in the ring together, it's not good.
Hey, and I will say this just to add on to it. It's because we talk about influential. Hey, Nikki Bella she got the popularity, but ain't nobody up here said, "Oh yeah, I want to see a Nikki Bella feud in 2025." No. But AJ,
she was good for her time.
Yeah, she was good for her time. But AJ, I'm not gonna lie, I want her. I need that Roxanne match. I need that Roxanne.
We've been
match.
waiting for 10 years.
I want to see what she can do with Io.
We've seen Nikki Bella come back and leave before, so we've kind of seen her work with some of these women. Like we haven't seen AJ Lee work with anybody in this besides Nikki Bella, people who have been in that era. But like we've never seen her and Bailey, Roxanne, Charlotte, any of the.
She had a match with Bailey.
And the scary thing is about AJ Lee, if I was a woman in that division, if you look at the WWE archetype and the business model, look at the ages of all of their world champions right now. Pushing 40, if not 40. Every single one of them.
We got niggas pushing 40 who've been feuding all year.
Yeah, so
since January.
But my point is that's the business model. And it's not like AJ Lee left when she was 38 and coming back close to 50. She's only 38. Like she could win multiple world championships.
So she looks so great.
So AJ Lee
does not change.
Multiple world championships just in this run alone. And so the only drawback, and this isn't, obviously this one drawback doesn't outweigh all the positives. I think it's best for business that AJ Lee is back. But the only drawback I will say to this is that we're already seeing people like Julia, for example, the U.S. champion, not on TV at all. Talented wrestlers like Candice
she
LeRae
defended against
being
Selena
managers.
I know Michin. That just happened.
It was Michin? It was
Michin.
The person every U.S. champion faces?
Yeah. Even the women's champion, Tiffany Stratton, can't seem to have solid TV time right now. So AJ Lee being back is just going to make that problem worse. We're probably going to see some cuts coming up in the next year because of that.
It's going to be a flex, beneficial and non-beneficial.
I know. It's a balance, but
there's certain people who come back. Like, I'm not really concerned about AJ Lee's spot coming back because I feel there's certain people that you just know have different value. Like when Becky Lynch comes back, she's never not going to be used. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna be on TV. I think she's come back. She's been on every pay-per-view besides maybe one. You know what I mean? Like. She's somebody when she comes back, I'm not really worried. Like, oh yeah, they're not coming. They're gonna find something to do for her. You know what I mean? Like, she's not just gonna come back just to be sitting around. I feel like AJ Lee. I feel like AJ Lee is the same situation, especially with the way they've been using Punk too. Like Punk's been in a very good position with WWE since.
And Punk's going to be the world champion soon. I know that. I mean, I'm not blind to that. I get that. That's the goal. Julia,
WrestleMania.
Specifically, you know what Julia and Stephanie remind me of? Julia and Stephanie remind me of Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes. And it's just not working out for Julia for whatever reason. The same way, immediately, as soon as they came up, it was immediately apparent that Carmelo was just not on the same level as Braun for whatever reason.
I think it's the language barrier for Julia, in my opinion. That's why they.
Well, if it is, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's true. I think more so for me, it was when Julia got hurt. All her momentum went down.
And Stephanie just took off. I think Stephanie just took off.
Right. She just took off immediately. The language thing, because for me, she speaks better English than Io, and Io get bigger positions than her. So I don't really think it's a language thing. You know
Word. This Io whole gimmick, and it worked.
Yeah. but you could all to go to Jade's point, you could always feel different people's vibes in NXT, because even though Melo was treated as a star, we always felt Braun Breaker was still even though he never Braun never beat Melo in NXT and all, but even when they came up, you still just felt like he's still gonna be the guy though. Like you just never felt that was gonna be Carmelo's position. When Julia and Stephanie were in NXT, I was always like, I think they're gonna do more with Stephanie than Julia. I just feel like she has more of a presence that WWE is looking at.
I think it was events that specifically changed that. For Carmelo and Braun, it was when they flipped their characters.
So what?
Braun turned heel and Carmelo went babyface. I was like, ooh, Braun, okay, I'm with you now. Melo, this babyface gimmick ain't really working. I think because remember, I think the only reason they had the Stephanie Julia match was because Julia was hurt and she was going to be out for a minute. So like, hey, get through this match, and that's why she was going for however long she was. I think if Julia doesn't get hurt, I mean, she beat Roxanne. They clearly had plans for her. She's the one that beat Roxanne. So I think it's specific events that are hurting it, and I think they're trying with Julia, but it's
you know what it is too.
If Julia was on Raw, I think she'd be featured more. But
we don't talk about this enough either. I know we're getting way off topic here, but as it pertains to AJ Lee's impact on, everything else, we'll get back to that in a second. But I need to get this thought out because I feel like we don't talk about it enough. And that is social media for the past 2 or 3 years has had a huge impact on who gets pushed versus who doesn't. Like the We Want Cody movement is a prime example. But I think one of the reasons that Bron Breakker was immediately catapulted over Carmelo Hayes is because you put a video of Bron Breakker doing a 23-mile-per-hour spear on the outside on TikTok, and it's going to do huge numbers. Carmelo doesn't have a move like that. We already know Stephanie Vicaire is already pulling huge numbers on TikTok for reasons that have nothing to do with wrestling, and more power to her. I'm not judging her for that. But Julia isn't doing that. And Rhea Ripley she owes all of her success, all of it, except for maybe this much, on her success on social media. If she doesn't get as big on social media as she did, she's nowhere near as big of a star as she is. And so there's an aspect of that too, is that's part of the business now. Is you have to know how to. That's one of the reasons Logan Paul worked out as well as he did, is because Logan Paul knows how to milk social media. He knows what's going to go viral. He knows what works. He knows what's going to pull numbers. And for people like Stephanie and Rhea and Braun who have figured that out, more power to them. So yeah, people like Julia and Carmelo need to figure that out too.
You know who figured that method out back in the day and got punished for it?
Zack Ryder. Oh yeah.
Ryder.
Oh yeah.
He figured that shit out 10 years ago, over 10 years ago.
Influential. We're right on topic. Zack Ryder, honestly, one of the most influential wrestlers in modern wrestling.
Absolutely,
for being honest.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for him, like that's when WWE started using like Twitter and stuff. Like actually, like, oh, we can actually start showing tweets and stuff, and hashtag Raw and all that stuff. And the WWE YouTube page, when they had the JBL and Cole show, and the show where the wrestlers would cook, and all those other like wacky shows that they would have. And like he's the reason why a lot of wrestlers like, oh, I can display my stuff, like a different side of me or behind the scenes stuff, like on YouTube, like Being the Elite did, like Sammy Guevara has been doing, even though he's fucking trash. But like a lot of wrestlers have been doing. So, and there's a lot of wrestlers on social media right now who are using social media, like whether it be like behind the scenes stuff, or they have like little series that they do, like Bianca Belair, like she would during WrestleMania, I was seeing her stuff with like the lead up to Rhea Ripley and the heel stuff. She would just basically break everything down. Like wrestlers utilize social media a lot to show either a different side of them or like to really put their gimmick out there. And Zack Ryder was really the first person to do all that, and he got punished for it.
That's an awesome shout. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Not to mention the stuff he's been doing on the indies too. Like
yeah. Good for him.
Zack Ryder really has had. This will get us back on topic. Thank you, Nate. Zack Ryder has been influential in two different areas. One, you're absolutely right, Nate, and G Baby, I think said it too. The social media aspect of it. Like if Zack Ryder doesn't go out and make himself the United States champion through the Z True Long Hollywood story, that we never get what we get with him. And then also, and there's other guys that have done this. Drew McIntyre springs to mind, but Zack Ryder is the poster boy for WWE didn't want me, and so now I'm going to show them what they lost by going out and making a name for himself on his own. And there's a lot of guys that go out there and do that.
He's one of them. He's one of them. I think the big
Cody.
Cody might be
with the dirt sheets.
Cody's
that was a good one.
If
That was
Cody,
a good one.
Drew crawled, so Drew walked so Cody can run.
Right,
pretty much.
Yeah,
Cody. I think what separates Cody separates a little bit from Drew for me because they always made it seem like they had plans for Drew at one point. Like I don't think Vince was going to come out and call him the chosen one if they really didn't see some potential in him. Then it just messed up. For Cody, he already said that they had plans for Ted Jr. over him. Like Ted was supposed to be the guy. They never looked at Cody as the guy. So Cody was never really looked at in that aspect as, oh, he can be one of our next top stars. Like he was cool mid-card guy, and then they made him into Stardust. Like if he never leaves, bro, I don't know what would happen with his career. Like him being Stardust is crazy. I don't know how. I'm like, how can you recover from this? You can't recover from Stardust. Like there's no way. Him leaving is like the true definition of like betting on yourself, doing a lot of things in the indies. You know, remember that promo he cut on CM Punk and said everything you talked about in the Punk bomb? I went out and did that, all that. Like I did literally everything you said that you were gonna do and didn't do. Did it on the Indies, helped start another promotion, which was monumental. Like he did everything that people never really expected Cody to really do to become the star that he is now. Like in 2016, nobody was looking at Cody as a WrestleMania main event guy. Like nobody would have predicted that 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like Cody to me is the definition of a needle mover. He's a real needle mover in wrestling. Some people still don't want to give him his flowers for it for whatever reason. Like, he's really not. But realistically, if you look at what he did on the Indies, then what he did with AEW and stuff, and then coming back to WWE, he's a real needle mover. Like the definition of somebody who moves the needle and really influential. I think Cody will probably, unfortunately, be one of those people that doesn't really get his flowers until like he's either out of his peak or retired. Kind of like Cena. Like people love Cena now, but it's like, I'm pretty sure half of y'all wouldn't like that 10 years ago.
Right.
But now that John Cena is retiring, it's like, oh, now it's cool to like John Cena.
And remember that Cody literally went out on network television on the first episode of AEW and smashed the throne. Did all of that in WWE, well, whenever it was, but you know what I mean. He went out in front of the world and smashed the throne, and Triple H still wanted to bring him in at the first available opportunity.
That's
Triple
not
H
even the
was
worst
like,
thing he
yes,
did,
please.
too.
Right. So,
It's like,
Have you seen being the elite, brother?
I think WWE they'll always sit back, or whatever company, when you have a superstar you don't know at the time and they go and do something else, you're like, damn, we got to bring that person back. Now there's money there, you know what I mean? Like there's always going to be interest. That's why they always go back to WWE, because the money, the people want it, and it's the biggest company that's going to give you the most eyes. So obviously they want it too, but it's like there's always going to be that attraction. Like, they've always shown that over years, no matter how bad blood is between the two individuals. Hey, let's work something out and see if we can.
I mean, Jay, shoot, you talk about the fact that he took a hammer to the throne and that don't mean nothing to Triple H. Look who he just brought back.
Yeah.
That clearly don't mean nothing to that man. Come on, everybody can come home.
Yeah.
Lawsuits don't matter.
Smashing the throne. Yeah, that means nothing.
It's a
but
welcoming home in WWE. Everybody gets
the only way you would never be able to come back, you would have to do something like Chris Benoit at level. Like it'd be
true.
To be like that
Yeah,
level.
true.
Like,
I agree.
It would have to be on that level of that where it's like we can never bring you back. Like other than that, anybody could always come back. I'm convinced. They have brought people back so many times that legitimately
look at Brock Lesnar.
You thought it was like you thought it was like impossible. Like no way that person can come back.
I just think
remember CM Punk. CM Punk got fired on his wedding day, bro.
I know.
Who does that?
Right.
You feel me? Like
he sued the company.
Yeah, like who fires somebody on the
he sued the doctor.
Wedding,
He sued the
and
doctor.
They try to make it seem like they didn't know. Like my wedding day.
I feel like I just have to say that if Chris Benoit is your ceiling, you probably need to bring your ceiling down a little bit.
Well, I mean, good.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on.
I'm not saying.
What are we talking about here? I mean, and again, this isn't on you guys. I'm just addressing.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but in the corporate world, they don't care about stuff like that. They only care about the money. It's been shown, so it doesn't matter what we say at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
They're going to do what they want to do at the end. Yeah. No matter what, because they still know people are going to watch.
10 years ago, I probably would have been off the rails, absurdly shit my pants surprised that they brought back Brock Lesnar even after everything that happened. In the world that we live in, the state of the world and what billionaires and politicians think of women, I'm not surprised by it. It just, I don't know. All I can say is it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all.
It's just disappointing. Like
that's a good word for it. Yeah,
I talked about it up here before. I was never shocked they brought Lesnar back because I literally saw interviews where Triple H never disclosed that he could never come back. So I don't know if people didn't see those interviews, but he literally never said Brock can never come back. He said if Brock wants to come back whenever he wants to, the door is always open. That's literally what he always said. Like he said it like on a few occasions. So when he said that, I'm like, okay, well, he's not really saying he's banned from the company, so I don't know if that like means something. I don't know what that meant, but it's like he never said like, nah, he can never come back. No, we don't talk about him. Because if it really was that bad, like to the level they would mention him. You know what I mean? They would tell people, hey, don't talk about him. Can't mention his name. When Paul Heyman comes out and talks about the streak, he wouldn't even mention Brock. He would just say the streak got conquered or something. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't even mention that name. Kind of like the Chris Benoit stuff. Like once all that stuff happened, don't talk about him anymore. Don't mention him. Pretend like he doesn't exist. You know, remember when the WWE Network was a thing, and like if you wanted to go back and watch WrestleMania 20, it wouldn't even say Chris Benoit's name. It would say WrestleMania main event triple threat. Wouldn't even say Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit. It would just say.
Didn't they also post content warnings before any show featuring Chris Benoit?
Yeah, I think like warning, like stuff like that. So,
I
agree.
Too.
I agree with you that if that's your ceiling, then that's pretty bad, especially in this era. But that's just, I'm saying from WWE's perspective, that's their ceiling.
To bring it back to the conversation, and I'll just say this once because I hate talking about this guy for obvious reasons. Chris Benoit, when I was a child, not right now, when I was a child, Chris Benoit was my freaking idol, man. I loved Chris Benoit.
Same.
And quite frankly,
he's dope.
He should be in these conversations because there are countless guys who maybe would never admit it, but they base their style off of what Chris Benoit did in the ring.
Yeah.
But he did what he did, and in my opinion,
I mean,
you can't.
His actions. I would say his actions are influential, but the repercussions of his actions actually are influential to keep the theme going because what he did, WWE.
You're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
They banned the chair shots, the wellness checks, and everything. They went PG. So not him directly, but like his actions and the ripples that it sent. The situation was very influential.
So I don't think people started talking about CT after the Chris
until Benoit, right?
So with that kind of like
shout out Chris Nowinski.
With that kind of like when you put it in that perspective, I'm not gonna lie. Like if this is what we consider like the reason that like, hey, this is why we went PG, this is why we did all that. I'm not gonna lie. Why do if that's the lens we looking at it, why do so many people complain that they went PG? Clearly it was for a reason.
Right.
Clearly
it's not what they grew up on, you know.
Yeah, people didn't.
It's not what they grew up on. Yeah.
But I guess my logic, I get everybody ain't gonna think like that, but I guess my logic is it's not like they just went PG based on what we talk about. It's not like they just went PG because it's like, you know, why not? It's clearly for a reason.
Yeah, like
that's how Ryan,
they had no choice.
Ryan and Johnny, how old are you guys?
30.
39.
So me, Ryan, and Johnny are gonna have a little because I'm 35. So we're gonna have a little bit different perspective. I mean, you guys probably remember as young adults when everything it was like the freaking world stood still. When and the world stood still twice. It stood still once when they stood in the middle of the ring and did the tribute to Chris Benoit, and then it stood still again once CNN broke
the very next day.
That not only was he dead, but his family
was dead. The very next day. Like
I remember
that impacted everybody at school, everybody at work. Everybody was talking about.
I remember staying up super late because it came on at 4:00 in the morning for the news, and there was an interview that CNN did with Vince McMahon, and they were blaming him, and saying that it's your fault. Why did you pay tribute to a bad person like that? And I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? I know. I'm glad Vince said what I was thinking, and he said we're a live show. We thought that we would do what was right. So what we heard was Chris and his family are tragically passed away. So we thought what we do was right, was do a tribute show, and all for Chris and his family. And of course, they didn't know the news until Tuesday. It's just like, dude, I thought that was
crazy
like the
because
craziest thing.
This was before dirt sheets and all that stuff. At least I was still a kid at the time, so I remember. I found out live as it happened, turning on Raw, seeing Chris Benoit. Like I'm like, what?
Really?
Like then Vince standing in the ring. No fans, like there's nothing there. I'm like, bro, what is going on?
Keep in mind too, like before this, they were doing the Vince McMahon storyline of Vince dying
the week before.
The week before. Yeah. So it's just like
that all changed in like a week. Like Vince got blown up in the limo, and then the next
literally how Paul London got fired because he smiled because he was walking. Yep. Like Vince McMahon was walking and he just broke character, so he got fired for it. It's like, bro.
And a lot of people I think a lot of younger people have this idea that the Chris Benoit situation happened, a lifetime ago. But I mean, Chris Benoit was supposed to wrestle CM Punk the night that he didn't show up to work.
And get the ECW championship.
That's how recently it was. It was literally, it's still technically less than 20 years ago that all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about influence on the business, obviously that situation taught WWE a lot of valuable lessons. And a lot of people who look back at the PG era with a curled up nose to everything that it was and everything that it stood for. If you had really been paying attention to the wrestling space at that time, if you had lived through it, if you were old enough to be cognizant of everything that was going on, you would have a different perspective on the PG era and how absolutely necessary it was for WWE. Because if they don't, the PR ramifications for WWE would have been awful if they had not changed up what they were doing. If the news came out that professional wrestler Chris Benoit murdered his family because he had the brain of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient after a career in professional wrestling, and then you keep turning into professional wrestling and seeing the things that you were seeing on a week-by-week basis at that time, the PR nightmare that would have followed for WWE, I don't know if they could have survived it. So the PG era had a lot of negatives that came out of it for sure, but it was definitely a necessary evil.
But there's also, before we name some other wrestlers, I had to point out the hypocrisy of the PG era that people talk about, because there are people who will trash the PG era, but then they talk about how they love 2009 Randy Orton. Oh, that was the PG era, sir. Y'all talk about how y'all love Cena versus Rock. That was the PG era, my guy.
PG era, sir.
You love Jeff Hardy. PG era.
Jeff Hardy.
PG era, my guy.
Pipe bomb.
Speaking of influential,
PG era.
Yeah, like
PG era.
A lot of things happened in that era that they don't remember. Like, oh, that did happen in the PG era. Like, you gassed it up.
Shawn Michaels in the
PG era.
PG era.
PG era.
PG era.
That whole 4-year story.
Yeah.
PG era.
PG era.
PG era. So you're
all
absolutely
that stuff happened
right.
in that time frame. So people will, say they hate the PG era, but you love 2009 Randy Orton. That was in the PG era. Okay. But you talked about, I feel like we're going to get to Jeff Hardy in a minute, but if we talked about Chris Benoit, I feel like we got to talk about Eddie Guerrero too, because he definitely is one of the most influential wrestlers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Watching the tribute. So this is how I found out he passed away. I didn't get to see the full episode of Raw because I was still in school, so couldn't stay up that late on Monday. I didn't find out until the SmackDown that week that he had passed away. So I was clueless the whole week. Like, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know until that SmackDown, until Batista came out on the lowrider and stuff like that. And I'm like, what's going on? They talked about he had passed away. I was like, yo, I had no idea. I don't know how I didn't find out. I don't know how I didn't know. But that right there, that was like one of the first deaths of a celebrity that really shocked me in a way I couldn't explain. Because Eddie Guerrero was the first wrestler that gravitated me towards wrestling when I first started to get into it. He was the first guy that made me feel emotions and made me like watch what he was doing. Like, there was something about him that gravitated me towards the TV. Like, I got to pay attention to what this guy's doing. He's charismatic. He's cool. He stands out. So when he passed away, that definitely, I think, shook the wrestling world at its core too, because you saw it, with the tribute shows about the impact he had on the people that he worked with, but also the people that, he touched within the community, even still to this day. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that will forever be, attached to his legacy. The Three Amigos. Anytime somebody does that, you hear the Eddie chants. Anytime somebody does a little Eddie Guerrero shake, you hear the Eddie chants. So he's definitely somebody I feel like had a major impact on the wrestling world, just based off of his wrestling abilities, but also the type of charismatic character that he played. Because you got to remember, Eddie Guerrero was a babyface playing a heel character, though. Like, he was doing heelish things, but it was a babyface doing it, and people loved it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's one of the things
that's
that
very hard
Eddie,
to make work.
That's one of the things I think is overlooked about Eddie's influence on the business. Is you look at guys that came after him that were constantly doing heel shit, but every time their music hits, they get a pop. Adam Cole comes to mind. Edge for a while comes to mind. Late career Randy Orton comes to mind. So Eddie made it, which you could say that Razor Ramon did it before him, but I think Eddie popularized it in a world that had embraced wrestling, where Razor Ramon kind of, when he was doing his thing, the world hadn't really embraced wrestling yet. It's also really hard to talk about Eddie Guerrero coming off of Chris Benoit, because what happened with Guerrero was really what sent Chris Benoit down his, rapidly declining
his
mental
best
state.
friend.
So you got that has to be a part of the conversation as well. And then obviously, I mean, you could talk for literally days about the number of professional wrestlers that Eddie Guerrero influenced across multiple countries. I think one of the biggest things that Eddie taught me, and ultimately it was his death that taught me, was, and this goes for in anything where, like, anything that you watch from afar, whether it's a sport or wrestling or even a musician or whatever, these people that create these moments that you like, that you enjoy watching, is just to enjoy them while they're here. Because Eddie went so fast, and there was still so much that Eddie could have done. If Eddie could have wrestled into his 50s, the number of guys he could have had matches with that weren't even around at that time. So, I mean, a lot of people used to make fun of me on TikTok for being such a mark for Dolph Ziggler, but I enjoyed watching Dolph Ziggler, and the Eddie Guerrero situation had taught me that any day now, that dude could just be gone, and I won't get to watch him wrestle anymore. So while he's around, God damn it, I'm going to enjoy watching Dolph Ziggler wrestle. I don't care if you like it or not. So, the suddenness of what happened with Eddie sticks with me, and I think that impacts us as fans. But again, as far as his impact on the business and the wrestlers, my God, we'd be here for days if we tried to break all that down. But Eddie was the man.
Yeah. I think one of the best matches you could ever watch for sure is Eddie versus Ray at Halloween Havoc. But one of the matches that
tremendous.
One of the best matches that I feel like you could watch based off stories and that makes emotion of what wrestling is Eddie versus Brock and No Way Out. That match right there, like the build and then the promo package and then the match itself, like that's a match that really like embodies what professional wrestling is supposed to be like, because it makes you feel some type of way, like the emotion that it brings out of you. So Eddie definitely is one of the most influential wrestlers for sure.
I'm gonna quote something that Eddie said a long time ago, and it's really stuck with me throughout my whole life. I'll be real. He said a long time ago that a lot of people would tell you the right thing to do is, whenever you get out of high school, is go to college. But he said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the right thing to do would be to follow your heart. Whatever you desire, whatever you want to do, chase it, and don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong, you can't do it, and you'll be a nobody. Just follow your heart and chase it. Whatever you want to do. If that includes wrestling, so be it. But if that includes something else, follow your heart, chase it. Don't listen to the haters. And I've put that to my life every single day. And I took that to heart whenever I heard that as a kid. And whenever I got out of high school, I was like, you know what? I'm not really made for college. I'll be real. Like, I'm not made for doing that. But I am made for doing something else. So that's when I got into, doing wrestling content and starting doing a whole bunch of other things too. And just really putting my heart into it and listening to what Eddie said and taking that to heart, So yeah, it really stuck. Like, he's been an inspiration of mine for so long. And literally whenever he passed away from me, I'll be real. I was a kid, so I broke down crying because I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He was my favorite wrestler of all time, and now I don't get to see him anymore. So like, it's not like it's. I understood it too. I understood it was scripted. I understood that. Oh, it's not like I don't get to see him anymore on WWE, and I can just watch another show. No, it's like I literally can't see him anymore. Yeah. So it stuck with me for so long.
One guy I want to ask you guys about, I'm going to go to Ryan here and Jay, because you guys kind of lived through this era, but Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, watching the Attitude Era live in real time in the flesh, For people who may not have watched it in real time or weren't there like real and live in real action, describe what influence maybe Austin had on the wrestling world that you could see. I don't know if you guys knew it at the time, like how big he was and how popular his movement was going to be, even still now to this day. But describe for people who may not have been around during that time what it was like to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin in real time.
I've talked enough, Ryan. You go first. I'll follow up.
All right, right. So late 90s, Jerry Springer, in your face. Pop culture is a lot different. It's more like kind of fuck you in a way. It's very non-PC. It's kind of the complete opposite of now. So in your face, eat shit is kind of how the vibe is. And Stone Cold, black trunk, black boots, black vest, white writing. It's very simple, but it's very in your face. His attitude just shined. His charisma was unique, where it was of the times, like I just mentioned. And it was simple, but it was just what we were yearning for, right? You're coming out of the Plumber, TJ Hopper, you're coming out of the friggin' Well Done, you're coming out of the New Generation era where it's all silly nonsense. Kane was a dentist, right? So it's just a bunch of things that are thrown against the wall, and then they throw the most simplest thing at the wall that they didn't even intend to throw at the wall, right? Triple H gets hurt. Or no, Triple H has the bullshit excuse. Austin has this underground movement. He's still the ringmaster in the way, but he has this underswell movement. Shawn likes having matches with him on house shows. He organically gets over, and then he hits the Austin 316 because Michael Hayes tells him that, oh, Jake just is going to the hospital or whatever. What's going on? Jake is back as a reborn Christian. Austin 316. It's all written in history, right? He just catches that line. It's lightning in a bottle. And he breaks his neck. The Hart Foundation is anti-America. And low-key, without us even knowing, like I mentioned, America's a bunch of assholes. And Stone Cold is presented as an asshole on TV, and we gravitate to him. And it just takes off. It wasn't the plan, but it's what we needed at the time. The new gen was neon colors, and Stone Cold was black and white. And it was what we needed, and it was really what was kind of was there, and they ran with it, right? And then, of course, then it magnified even more with McMahon versus Austin, the corporation versus the little man, right, in a way, too. So it was just kind of perfect, and we didn't know what we needed until we got it.
It's impossible to describe growing up as a wrestling fan in that era, because it's just you saw stuff that you don't see anymore, that you had never seen before, and that you have not seen since. 1998, 1999, I would have been in 3rd, 4th grade, and in a class of 22 kids, 12 boys, 8 of them had an Austin 316 shirt on. Yeah. And you just don't, as popular as guys like Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes might be, you're not going to walk into an American classroom and see 85% of kids in there with the same wrestling shirt. It just doesn't work like that. And I'll tell you, Malik, you asked if we recognized what we were seeing. I think the moment that stuck out for me, because my family was a WCW family. We watched Nitro every week for years. And then at one point, I remember my dad started flipping over to Raw during the commercial breaks, which he had never done before. And then at one point in my life, I remember he started flipping over to Raw when Nitro went on commercial. And he started sticking to Raw longer and longer and longer. And eventually, we just became a Raw family. But the first time that I remember seeing something that felt different to me was, and we all know it, the Mankind Stone Cold return pop. I mean, yeah, that's when I knew
I was there.
This is not just professional wrestling. This is not just entertainment. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because WCW fans, DDP got pops, Goldberg got huge pops, but they were kind of sit on your hands and scream as loud as you can type shit. When Austin's music would hit and people would just start literally jumping up and down in unison, waving their signs around, the loudest pops you've ever heard in your entire life. As a kid growing up watching Stone Cold, it is impossible to describe the feeling of freedom that he gave you, honestly. And as far as influence too, I mean, what we've learned was huge. What we've learned in modern day WWE is if you have a simple hand gesture you can get over, right? We got this. Undisputed Era, we had this, and Stone Cold, we had this, and I can't count how many times I got suspended after class because
I was getting ready to say Stone Cold shirts was like one of the shirts that they
because I didn't know the
actually
difference.
allowed.
I didn't know what that meant. All I know is I saw Stone Cold do this to Vince McMahon. So that's what I did. So listen, that's another conversation. Stone Cold, as short as his career may have been comparatively to other wrestlers, don't know if there's ever been a single wrestler that has had more impact on the business. Maybe you guys might argue Hulk Hogan, but I don't know if there's been another single wrestler that has had more impact on a single business than Stone, and not just a business, but an industry, because Stone Cold led to WWF winning the war, led to modern day WWE, led to this internationally renowned product that goes from the U.S. to London to Paris to Puerto Rico to Saudi Arabia to wherever. All goes back to Stone Cold Steve Austin, every bit of it.
Do you guys think this just off topic real quick, but I want to see what you guys think about this. Do you think there will ever be a time in wrestling that we'll ever see two guys like Rock and Austin at the same peak at the same time, at the same level? Like Austin's peak, Rock's peak, two of the biggest stars ever in the same era. Do you think we'll ever see something like that again?
Because of the structure, no.
Yeah, the closest we've come is John Cena and Randy Orton. But by then, the crowds were just so different. We were never going to get that reaction. If Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had come along a little bit later, maybe we could have gotten them to that peak. But based on when they came in, no. You said earlier, Malik, never say never, but it certainly doesn't feel likely because the people that go to these shows are just not the same people that went to these shows 25 years ago. So it's more about the crowd than it is the performers. And we're just never going to see crowds like that again.
Well, also too though, other than
nobody can clap because everybody's doing this to put on TikTok. You see AJ Lee just the other night, they pan out and everyone's doing this. That's fucking they are there live and they are watching the show through their fucking phone.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a
get off my lawn.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
You can't have memories
because I don't like
right, that's what I'm saying.
Recording to always go back and watch to me is not a problem. Like, because I've been to two SmackDowns.
That's not what I said. I said I specifically saw people doing this. This is what they saw.
But Jay,
they weren't doing this. They weren't doing this.
Jay,
they were doing this
because
in front of their eyeballs right here.
Jay, because when you record, I know because it's happened to me. When I'm looking over there and I'm recording, that camera angle ain't on where it's supposed to be.
Exactly. I can't.
So I can't see. Look, but Jay, I get it though because. I'm not.
This is why we'll never get it. This is why we'll never get Stone Cold and The Rock again.
But
because I don't think it's more important.
It's because the younger generation and they iPhones and TikTok and Instagram reels and they dance for the camera. Plus they care about his dream. Back in my day, and all we had is our little Polaroids. And we take a picture and it come out. And we had to do it like this. And then we had to go to the store and we had to go to the damn thing and we had to wait for our pictures to get clear because they had to put the pictures in that damn room.
Yeah, Jade, I'm not gonna lie. Jade, I'm not even trying to make an old head joke with you right now, but I get it because at the time y'all didn't have cell phones out there in these crowds.
They did. It was just low quality.
It was born before they had electricity.
Like I'm not even trying to make an old head joke with you, but I get your perspective. But my point is, just to go back to the original, because I don't think recording to save it, because I still go back and watch my Royal Rumble reaction.
Chat agreeing with Jade, man. They on Jade's side.
I mean, they can. That's fine. I'm not saying Jade is wrong.
Gee, how would you like it? Hold on. How would you like it if I came onto the podcast and when my camera turned on, all you saw was this?
Well, there's nothing going on here, Jade.
I was about to say that's different.
That's different. Let me tell you.
Jade, here's the difference. If you were recording me like that in a situation where, like, let's say you can't screen record this YouTube channel and you can't like that, all right, cool. But I'm saying in the moment, them recording their reactions right? They don't have a camcorder to go print out the pictures out of Walmart anymore. Like, that's not what they have anymore. It is, and I know because my parents used to do it all the time. What was the phrase? Ryan, y'all know this. It's a Kodak moment. Like I remember that. I remember having to go to Walmart and bring out the pictures 2 days after we take it. I remember that. They don't have to do that no more. That's all it is. And the thing is, hey, with the Kodak moments, you never really knew for sure if the picture was actually good or not. Especially if you jumping up for joy. Oh my gosh, Stone Cold is back. You might miss the picture. You don't know.
You can only take 20 of them. You can only take 20 pictures.
You can only take 20. So yeah, you had to be meticulous. One shot. All right, no more.
Are we done? We still got 2 more hours.
But overall though, I don't think that's mainly my issue. Because if you look back in WWE history, Stone Cold and The Rock is the only time you had 2 top stars at the same peak at the same time. And that level of popularity. You had the Hulk Hogan before that. After that, they tried it with Batista a little bit, but we know how that went. They tried it with Randy Orton a little bit. You know how that went. It was Cena. It was Hulk Hogan, Rock and Stone Cold, Cena, Roman. They've never really had a time. And as of now,
they could have if they wanted to. It could have been CM Punk.
They could have. But they didn't.
That's Vince.
We know how that go.
Could have been CM Punk.
I think it's more so because I just don't think they'll ever. I think Vince, when he had Stone Cold and The Rock, he was definitely backed against the wall, desperate, like because he was about to go out of business. Before that, ain't nobody was competing with WWF. Then after that, for sure, once they won the war, nobody was competing with the niggas. He just needed that one star. And John Cena, luckily for him, because he's one of the few people I believed it till he got older. He was in WWE every week straight for damn well over a decade. He didn't pull Hollywood until he got to his later years. I will always give him that credit. He didn't pull Hollywood until after his U.S. Open Challenge. For real. Mm-hmm. Like, he might have had a little spot, but a true Hollywood doing movies all the time, he wasn't doing that till after his U.S. Open title run, right?
All I know is if we're talking about people with impact on the wrestling business, we got to talk about Steve Jobs, because these phones have great video quality. And the ability for me to go back when that show is over
Jay, this is the most old head you've ever sounded ever.
On a 10x10 screen when I could have been there experiencing it live.
What's wrong with that?
Steve
What's
Jobs
wrong with that? I got my reaction. I got my genuine reaction to Jay Uso winning the Rumble in tears on this little device right here. I can go back and watch anytime I want. I can relive that moment anytime I want.
Like for me, Jay, I'll just speak on my part. The Royal Rumble when Cody won, right, and that was the last Bray Wyatt match we got. That was the first show me or my little brothers had ever been to, right? I recorded every single entrant. I recorded my reaction. Some of them I was like, ugh.
Dude, baby, I know
Natalia.
I know that you're using them to hear, but I feel like your earbuds are blocking your hearing because I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. When I went to the Royal Rumble in 2022, right, the 5th worst Rumble of all time, I know.
I did too. You're not the only one.
But when I went to Royal Rumble in 2022, I took highlight because at the time I was still active on TikTok. I'm not anymore, but I took video clips to put on TikTok, but when I was recording, the show was right here in front of me, and I just had my phone out here. And guess what? If the video didn't work out, who gives a shit? I'm here watching it live. Who cares?
Some people
let me jump in on that. Let me jump in on that.
If I'm putting it on TikTok, it better be right.
Let me jump in on that.
Hold on. Let Johnny go.
All right. So whenever I was there, and I was in the nosebleeds up there, I couldn't see Jack literally squat because mainly, I don't know if WWE still does this, but they have a giant freaking spotlight right there in your eye. So everyone was chanting, "Turn the lights off." Yeah. And so it was really hard. So what do? We take the phones out. We did that zoom in. And we zoomed all the way in where we can actually see it. Also, another thing, whenever you were up there, they did not put anything on the Jumbotron. You couldn't see the match. You couldn't see anything. So we were literally using our phones to watch the whole entire match because you couldn't. It was so
conversation. But I'm saying like
he says he wants them to like at least watch
That's what I'm
record on the
saying.
side.
Yeah, that's what I'm
With
saying.
my own eyes.
If you're using
Hey,
the Zoom feature to watch the show because you have
Jay
terrible speed.
Jay wants people to have those those police body cams.
Listen, now
Oh my gosh, yeah, this right here.
You want us to wear a
Listen, the
GoPro?
point
Should we wear a
was-
GoPro?
Little GoPro.
The point was, Malik asked the question, will we ever see that again? And regardless of how popular any two stars ever are at any one point in time, no one's going to be jumping up and down out of their seats because no one wants to lose their goddamn Android. So, I mean, I'm just answering the question. I'm just answering the question. We're never going to get the same reactions that we did back then because everyone watching the show through their screens doesn't want to drop their phones.
So you
think people jump out their seat for re-record?
You can't even clap. How you going to clap?
Even though people
I don't need to clap.
You can't
yeah,
that's thank you. I scream.
Yeah,
bro.
clap like this with one hand.
All you got to do is it's not that hard. Holding your phone and screaming. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Jay,
This is what I do. I just like I do the little fist thing.
even though people were recording Jade, you don't feel like they jumped out of their seats when AJ came back? You don't feel like they was jumping out their seats?
Dude, the
the
whole
thing was doing this.
arena was
People was
screaming.
jumping out their seat.
Jake thinks they was like,
No, I think
Did you
Jade
not hear that crowd?
I think Jade is thinking like people want to get the reaction that he's feeling like they're just reacting like this, like staying still. Like
Jake, that's not. See, when you know when us young people go to shows and we get excited, we have this thing called hands and have this thing called grip, and you can just grip your phone and hold it tight. And then something happens, you go, "Oh my god!" Holy shit! I can keep my phone in my hand.
I don't know. I just
Jay,
wish I could pay $300 for a ticket and be happy watching it through this. That's all I'm saying.
$300 is great.
Jay,
That's
you know what
it's
I do?
probably $500. What are we talking
Jay,
about?
Jay, you know what I do? So when I take my phone, right, Jay, you know what I do? When I'm recording reactions, Jay, you know what I do? I record. I'm like, oh my gosh! And then with my other hand, with my off hand, I hit the front screen twice. And then I record me. Oh my god! Oh my god! And then I hit it again twice.
yeah, I don't think you can't like.
How self-obsessed have we become as a society?
I mean,
Where being able to rewatch your reaction after the moment is over is more important.
I'm not gonna lie, Jade. I'm not gonna lie, Jade.
You can do both.
You can do
I'm not
gonna lie, Jade. It's 2025. That's literally social media. That's literally what most of WWE content is.
Maybe
right
that's
now.
why I
It's
quit.
reacting
G.
to
Maybe that's
yourself.
why I stopped posting the TikTok.
And I don't even post most of my reactions, to be honest. I just got them for myself, so I can just at a random time just relive that moment.
You can do both. I
I
feel like you can do
I-
both though. You
I
can
don't
still
record-
record your reaction and enjoy the moment. You can do
That's
both.
why I don't do
That's
that.
what I'm saying. What's
I
wrong
wait
with
till-
doing both? Like you can't
There's definitely
scream
a
and record.
Hey, I wait to get my clips.
Right, hold on,
before my
Ryan.
show,
What do you
Jade.
think? What do you
I
think?
don't record my reaction. I'm
Let's
getting
go
excited
ahead.
myself.
Jay getting jumped.
Let Ryan talk. He's the OG. What do you think?
So it's mostly mixed, right? I've been to quite a few WrestleManias, brought the kids or whatever. I've never recorded anything, but my wife records everything and she sends it to me. So it's like it's a system, right? She don't give a fuck. But
I just feel like
If you have nobody,
there are times on this podcast where we kind of fall down the meaning rabbit hole and stop making sense because I literally said it feels like an hour ago that there's a way for you to do both. I did both. My issue is not people who carry their phones. My issue is not people who record moments during the show. My issue is not even posting clips from that show to TikTok, Instagram, etc. It's the people, and I'm seeing more and more people every week where they are watching the show through their phone. That's what I'm talking about. Hold the phone out here, hold it up here, strap it to your goddamn chest, get a GoPro for all I fucking care. It's just when you pay tickets.
So hold on, you think people are watching the whole
I think
show
no.
phone?
I
Like,
think
that's
I
what
know
it
what
feels
he's.
like.
I think I know what you're saying because I've seen clips of this. Are you talking about whenever people are there at the show and they're watching the live show on their phone? Are you talking about that?
No, I'm talking about
people that are just
using your phone.
Saying
like,
that he thinks there's people who will literally just have their phones out all the time, just like
to be honest, Jay.
Watching the show through their phone instead of just watching it like live there.
I'm gonna be real with you. Those people probably aren't hardcore fans. They probably are very casual and don't really care. I think that's probably the bigger issue.
Maybe not. Maybe
Where
not. Like,
people,
I don't know what
I think people who do this, like this, what you're specifically talking about, are probably not that invested. Like they're probably gonna go home and not talk about the show at all. That was
We'll
like
delete the video.
just something. Yeah,
Now you will
Just-
you will
just
have
something
like
leisure
us,
for them
us
to
as
do.
fans, we will do that for certain moments. Like if we feel like a big moment's coming up. Like when I went to the Royal Rumble, I had my phone out for the whole match because I didn't know what would happen.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never know
I need to
what's
get a
gonna
moment.
happen.
If there's
You
a
have
moment
to.
that
You
happens, I
have
wanna
to.
get that
Yeah, I
moment.
recorded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you want to get that because every entry, you don't know. So like, of course, like you get somebody and it's like, oh, Finn Balor. I don't need to record that, you know. But then like
I did that. Yeah.
next person
Yeah.
it could be Roman Reigns. You're like, oh my God, Roman. Like, you know, it's like so. There, you have to be ready for certain moments because you don't know what could happen certain times. So it's like
That's
if
what
that
we-
moment.
See, that's what we mean right
maybe-
there. That's how we are in the future right there. Someone said, got to get the meta glasses. That's exactly what I mean. Like we're in the future now. This is crazy.
So maybe it's a you're pissing
Mo
me
can
off
afford
right
it.
now. Maybe it's a product of a completely different problem, and it is a problem.
No, yeah,
Right?
I could understand
that-
like if you were at the Royal Rumble and like they had Becky Lynch versus Piper Niven and somebody's like out there like this the whole time with the phone out. Like, what are you trying to?
The sign
trying to
caught
get
on fire, so no one really cared about that match.
doesn't
match
get
is-
doesn't
The
get
sign
here.
not
Like,
caught on
it's like-
fire, so no one
everyone was
cared
at the
about that.
back.
Well, what I was going to say is that maybe the problem is endemic of another problem that Nate brought up, and that is that most real wrestling fans can't afford the good seats anymore. So all the good wrestling fans are up in the fucking nosebleeds. That's maybe.
But I think it's also about capture the moments. Like, can you imagine like back in?
I know, but again,
there-
I feel like I'm beating. You can capture the moments without watching the show through your phone.
Beating
Is what
himself.
I'm saying. The
It's
show
just-
is
you
happening in
watch the
front of
show
you.
through
Why
your
are you
phone.
watching it on a 5x5
But
screen right here?
It's just not gonna be
I
the
agree.
same, Jade. You saying you could put it over here, but if you locked in over here, your hand might twitch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure
You might be in front of somebody else.
Right.
You got somebody
you
else
never
right here.
know.
They're like, bro,
Hey, 'cause
brother, I
Jay,
can't
I'll give you a final example of why I think holding it right here isn't a problem. Let's say you hold your phone right here and somebody big old sign pop up in front of your screen. Hey Nate, I know you know how annoying that is.
Oh,
Nate,
I
know
hate
you-
that.
Yeah,
Put your
bro.
sign down.
Bro,
Hey,
Nate,
Yo,
you
the
know how
90s
many
was
times I've
crazy
been
with the
here?
signs.
Nate, you know how many times
Crazy.
I've been here? A sign will pop up and I miss a big move. I'm like, I gotta change my age.
No,
Oh
let me
my
tell
God.
you, AW in Cincinnati wasn't even a sign. This nigga's hair, at this Carlito looking nigga, his hair, his afro was in my way, so I had to record everything like that. I could barely see myself, so I had to get my phone out and zoom out.
You
Pissed me off.
was at the music center, so them seats on the floor are terrible, bro.
Yes, bro, and this nigga's and he had a WWE belt. Like, who brings a WWE belt front row to an AEW show?
The same people who
Look at Jay.
who bring an AEW jacket to a WWE show. I see it all the
Jay's
time.
done.
I see
Jay's
what Jay, I
absolutely-
see.
No,
I see
I'm just
what-
happy to be
Bro.
back.
Don't sit front row.
I
I'm
see
just
what
happy
Jake's
to be
saying
back.
though. Like, yeah, why would you have your phone out just to watch the show on your phone when you're there in person?
Yeah,
I'd
that
be
makes no
like-
sense.
That would make no sense. Like, why are you watching it on like? If you can't see, you can just Titantron right up there, bro. Like, I don't know, that didn't make sense. But to get your reaction, I feel like it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, those are memories. Those are things that you're gonna remember forever too. You know what I mean? So. On the phone.
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, and that horse has had enough. So
Can we
I'm done.
just change Jay's
Well,
photo to the black?
How you know it's not enough if it's dead?
what else are we gonna talk about? G.
Gee.
Hey,
I heard
well,
it.
I did want to bring up something. It's not really a specific wrestler, but I think we eventually gonna look back. Even though this time was absolutely horrible, it was horrible for a lot of different reasons. I feel like the pandemic
Oh yeah,
was definitely like it set the. I feel like it set the landscape for modern day.
It was a pivot point.
It was like
more.
like
it-
it
and
changed
you know-
everything.
Down.
It literally, honestly, if we really think about it, it literally changed everything WWE is. Literally changed
And
everything
you know-
WWE is.
And you want to know who was a big influence in that and the change? We already know him. We already know him.
Yeah.
That cinematic style WWE does now, all that storytelling they tell, that added layer of storytelling verbally in the ring, that guy made it popular. But he got it popping. There was nobody around. You gotta admit. Yeah, he's able to find himself, and there was nobody around to really. The crowds weren't there, so he had to tell the story
I think there
himself.
was
I'll put it like
good
this.
things.
We don't get. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Two good things that came out of 2020, in my opinion. Roman Reigns with the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, and then Bray Wyatt. Now it was the fiend gimmick. I feel like those are the two best things that came out.
No, Bailey had the best run of her career during the pandemic.
She did.
Bailey was good.
Asuka
Bailey
had
was
the
good
best-
too. Yeah,
Asuka
absolutely.
had the best run of her career during the pandemic. The tag team division had a great run during the pandemic. And then there were matches, and I've said this on the show before.
Did it?
There were matches. I think so. There were matches that happened during the pandemic that would go down.
Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler were champions.
One of the greatest wrestling matches in history if it didn't happen during the pandemic. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles springs to mind. I think when we look back through rose-colored glasses, for sure, I think we're going to remember a lot of positives out of the Thunderdome that a lot of people probably don't think about right now because it's just too soon.
Yeah, I think the Bloodline, obviously the Bloodline stuff.
Yes.
Bloodline, yeah.
The Bloodline stuff starting the pandemic, not realizing where it was going to go later in years and years, but that definitely changed for like, I know that's where it gets overused a lot, but Roman Reigns at the peak of the Bloodline in general, that was the real definition of like aura. Like that shit was crazy. Like watching that in real time when they would come out together, the music, the feels, like that shit was real.
The announcement, Samantha Irvin. Oh my god.
Yeah, like you knew you was watching. Like this is a superstar. Like that made you really question like what Roman was doing with the Bloodline. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, that made me question, like, bro, could they have had this Roman all these years, bro? And they just
100%. Yeah, they just didn't.
Like, could he have been this guy?
I honestly think so.
And they just chose to do it. Like, this is crazy. Like, this Roman Reigns that I'm seeing right now, this could have happened in 2017, and y'all chose not to do it. This is wild.
To be honest, though, I mean, Roman Reigns did, when he left because of his condition, but because of leukemia, no one blames Roman Reigns for leaving when he did. But when he came back, he had bulked up. He had the teeth work going on. He had gotten the tan. With the Roman Reigns that came back, was not the same Roman. That was almost a completely different dude. So honestly, I didn't even know it was Roman at first. Right, exactly. So I don't know if the tribal chief could have worked with.
We don't know that.
I mean, he was still wearing them green eye contacts. He was still wearing them.
I'm looking at it from a talent perspective, like just him as an individual, as a talent.
Well, actually,
I had the credentials.
Well, I don't think. Well, actually, you know what I think really like that we don't talk about enough. That like I don't think it would have worked. I think he could have been a good heel in 2017 when he beat the Undertaker. If he would have just turned heel that night,
could have. I've said that before.
Right. I'm with you, Jade. But as far as this level of tribal chief character that we got, you know what? I'm surprised it doesn't get talked about enough. The one thing that Ball and Fraud actually did help him with when he went to go do that movie, Hobbs and Shaw, and he got that acting coach, and he was able to kind of see all that. I think Roman Reigns himself credited him able to do all this because he got that acting coach and was able to really buy into that. That Hobbs and Shaw movie that he got to like be a feature in for a little bit. When he got that acting coach and saw how The Rock did his stuff, because I mean, we could say whatever we want about The Rock. The Rock, I mean, you could say he's playing himself, but he keep making money from it. So at the end of the day, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And he got to be around, and he got to be around other actors as well too, and seeing their preparation. And he actually had to prepare for a movie role, even though he really ain't do much. He had to still prepare for a movie role and like, hey, this is the reason we're doing this. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to convey. That to me did way more for him because he couldn't have came back as a heel, still saying suffering succotash.
No, he
couldn't. I will say, there's an alternate timeline out there somewhere that I wish I could be a part of, where everything with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker happens exactly the same, even the promo. But when he comes out and he gets booed for 10 minutes, and then he says, "This is my yard now," right before he does he puts on the Ula Fala and says, "This is my yard now," and then we get Tribal Chief Roman after that. I think that probably could have worked.
He didn't have the confidence then that he got in the pandemic.
Right. No,
but I'm with you, though, Jay. I'm with you, Joe. When he beat The Undertaker, right, that should have been for sure. He'll turn immediately. Yeah, like that was the.
I'm saying like some people I think always have the it factor. We're not able to see it maybe because of how they're used or portrayed or whatever. Maybe they're held back for like, you look at Cody, you look at certain people. It's like you'll sit back and look. It's like, bro, like could they have always done this with this person if they had chose to do something differently? Like you never know. It's a big what if, but it's like for Roman Reigns, you look at that tribal chief stuff. I'm like, bro. if they had done this years ago, or at least turned him heel, something different, like Roman's could have been way longer, could have been a lot better.
Well, because look at his timeline. Because look at the timeline. Let's just say they turned him heel that night. Right? Even if we still take it to effect, even though we wish obviously it didn't happen, even though we take it to effect, he still left for leukemia, right? Let's just say that still happens. When he comes back, he was going to be a babyface anyway. Like, I'm like, real talk.
You have to.
No person in their right mind would say, "Oh, you're coming back from cancer, heel." Nobody would do that, right? Now the crowd still boo you, right? So let's just we can even say that still happens because now we're like, we're going back to the Roman we didn't want to see, whatever. And we've already got the heel run that you have for a little bit, right? I think the Shield reuniting as a heel would have been a lot better than them reuniting as baby faces because it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
He still goes away, comes back, does the stuff with Drew, we hate it. Does the dog food stuff, we hate it.
Yeah.
And then comes back again as tribal chief with an extra layer.
So
Bro,
we had
talk about
said
Roman having 2 peaks.
We had said that the Thunderdome era was influential because the Bloodline story happened during it, but I think there's more to it than that. I think if they had tried to do the Bloodline stuff, the same, let's say COVID never happens, right? Roman maybe never goes away. But let's say he still goes away for a little bit after he loses the title or whatever, and then he tries to come back and do the exact same stuff. Let's say they never had the Thunderdome. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think if there had been people there in the early parts of that, I would be worried that the Bloodline stuff wouldn't have worked out as well as it did. I think Roman being able to establish his character without the pressure of the live crowd reacting to him, because I think that no matter what he did, no matter how good he was or whatever, I think everyone's inclination was boo Roman Reigns, go away. So no matter how good he was going to be, he was going to get that reaction no matter what. But the crowd went away for a long time. And then we were kind of at home and we were kind of forced to reevaluate Roman Reigns as a performer and as a character and as a wrestler without the pressure to be there live and boo him just because that's what we do because we're assholes and we're WWE fans, right? So him being able to take that, however long it was, 8 or 9, 10-month period, whatever it was, to establish the tribal chief character before the crowds came back, I think did him wonders. I think that it made it better because when the crowd came back and they were live, it was no longer cool to hate Roman Reigns because we had all watched on TV as he did all of this cool shit. So now the inclination is boo Roman Reigns, you dastardly heel, but somewhere inside we're like, oh my God, I love you. You're doing so great, right? But the crowd going away for a while, as tragic as that whole situation was for obvious reasons, the crowd going away for a while, I think did wonders for Roman and for the Bloodline story. I think it worked out for the best.
Well, Roman was able to slow down, and most importantly, we haven't really talked about was Paul Heyman was by his side, and Paul Heyman was by his side backstage. Right. And Paul Heyman works best when he amplifies what you were doing well. He finds it, and he just makes you throw it down your throat. And what honestly, low-key, is the biggest thing that Roman did when he started getting over in the pandemic was talking shit in the ring. Yeah. There was no crowd. There was none of that. So that was another layer of connection that he would get to us, was talking shit to Jey Uso. And honestly, that's what Jey Uso started getting a lot of the sympathy too as well, was Roman belittling him within those matches, beating him down and killing him.
Gaslighting him.
And physically. So, he was instrumental of getting them over. Was that?
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, can I ask, by the way, can we just go around the table and talk about our favorite Roman away from the mic moments? Because I have one. Mine's tied for number one. 1A is when he's got Edge in the chokehold and he says, "I'm gonna hurt this man. My arm is extra big." And then after he lays out the Miz and he's coming down the ramp. This is my ring. This is my camera. This is my show. The 1A and 1B. Those are my two favorites.
For me, when I think of, because we talk about how like Roman was able to slow down and his talking mess out the ring, like you almost felt like I'm gonna bring it to the answer that you had, Jade, in a second. But when Jey Uso won that gauntlet, because it's like, okay, first match, weird, but let's see how they do this. And he's all excited. Yeah, I get to face Roman. And Roman's like, yeah. And then Jay turned around and he just, that's the first time I'm like, oh shit, this nigga finna die. Like, oh my God. Yo, Jay, you don't know what you about to be in for. Don't do it. Oh my God. It's like the mannerisms, like every little detail, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief say.
Oh my God. Just Roman's face was like,
I was like, oh shit.
like
God,
angry
The tribal
dad.
chief wants peace. I
But
mean,
my
I don't
fa-
give a
my
damn what the
favorite-
tribal chief said.
Obviously, because this one was on the mic, so I can't even say that. But my favorite, obviously, other than the infamous, like, no man can knock me out, right? Man, the fact that he was able, and this one I knew, okay, that acting coach, this finna be a different Roman. When he cried on command, in that Hell in a
Yes,
Cell,
bro.
when he cried on command with
Yes,
Jay
bro.
there, because the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, no way they just turned him back face immediately. Like, is Roman crying for real? And then choked out Jay. I'm like, yo, this
man.
nigga is different, bro. We are literally about to watch legendary shit right now, bro. Him crying on command.
Yeah.
That was, to me, that is the greatest character action that Roman Reigns has ever done in his life.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to cry on command. And then after he win, he wiping a tear out his eye all slug, like, yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what time I'm like, wow, this man is crazy. Yeah, bro. That moment right there, that Hell in a Cell match, I was like, yeah, nah.
To me, it's when
Hell in a Cell, I quit match.
To me, I think it's when he was have like a verbal joust with Rollins, and Rollins said something, and then he was like, "No pop, no pop."
Yeah, no pop.
Exactly, no pop.
He was like, let's talk about little brother Seth Rollins.
Exactly, no pop.
Exactly, no pop.
That's
that was off the cuff, bro. That was crazy.
Oh my God.
And then there's another one.
Rumble, yeah.
His delivery, it was right after the crowds came back. And I remember it the crowd was booing him, and he just mid-promo stopped and said, if y'all don't stop booing me, I'm gonna come out there and back the looks off his face. It was so good.
All facts, no printer, man.
He was, I think it was facing Big E or something. He's like, shut your mouths, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'll come out there and smack the like, talk your shit, nigga.
I like when he was calling out the streamers, I thought that was funny. I was like, how does Roman know all these people? Like KSI, Mr. Beast.
I don't care who it is.
And then the other one, I like, it's not off promo, it's to Mike when Jay had to acknowledge him. And Roman's just, and he's like, I hate you, man. I hate you. And Roman's like, I love you. I was like, nah.
I love you.
He's like, when are you gonna do this to me, man?
Another one, it was low-hanging fruit. It was low-hanging fruit, but his delivery was excellent. It was that big promo battle with John Cena where he was like, it's missionary every night. And then he's like, and that may be good enough for you.
But it wasn't good enough.
Wasn't good enough.
Oh,
so good.
Oh man, it's like missionary milk.
All facts, no printer.
I'm not lying. Even though he didn't say
all
nothing,
facts, no printer.
the most aura thing he ever did. Nowadays, you know, the young kids that I coach and teach, they call it aura farming. But when he caught that Mike Brock Lesnar through, didn't move a muscle.
Oh, dude!
I was like, yo. What the fuck is this nigga on, bro? Like, come on, bro. How can you hate this man? How can you hate this man, bro? And then winked at him afterwards. I was like,
yeah, the wink. Oh my gosh, the wink is what sold it.
I was like, yeah, this man to go. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody put him as number one, I can't even hate on you for it, because this shit is
So everybody can go your own individual answer. If there's a wrestler that you felt impacted you, or one that you want to give credit and shine to that we haven't spoke about.
Want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
All right, I have a little list, but I thought Roddy Piper was very influential throughout. I believe he's the first one to have a stand-up show, Piper's Pit. He ushered in a new way to get heat, and that was through your mouth, right? And honestly, look, he refused to lose, so he never got pinned in like 7 years until he faced Bret Hart. So that is a way to kind of be influential as well. Another one being Hall and Nash with guaranteed contracts. You talk about aura and being cool, going back, looking at WCW and NWO stuff. That's on Match Untouched levels that you were just talking about with Roman for 15 minutes. They had that in WCW all the way, every day. Punk and Danielson influence with the indie wrestlers changing the style in WWE. Once the Shield kind of came in, there was like a new hyper-paced, free-flowing way to wrestle in the WWE, and that was ushered a little bit before with Bryan and Punk. Look to their 2012 feud or whatever. And plus, those are big indie stars that made it into WWE for the first time. Orton, in a way, too, as well. A guy that was homegrown, built from within the WWE, being an example for someone in the PC, so to speak, to go out there and have a 20-year career being built from the ground up in the WWE. Superstar Billy Graham, tie-dye, Hogan ripped off his whole gimmick. A first guy to be like a body guy, silver tongue, so to speak, kind of guy. And then my last one here is Gorgeous George from the 70s, or from the 50s, excuse me. He was a showman, flamboyant heat, and he was the first one to have entrance music. So I thought that was pretty influential as well. So there was kind of my little list as well.
Super chat real quick. In the Cena feud this year, Cody tier. ET's 42. I think some of us want or are expecting Cody versus Punk next year at Mania. I think it just depends on what the Seth and Punk.
Yeah.
It also depends on whether or not they're going to turn Cody heel, because Cody's the heel no matter what you do. If you do Cody versus Punk, Cody's the heel.
You think so? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Cody is more long-term money as a baby than Punk would be long-term.
It could go either way, in my opinion.
But my point is, no one's going to boo CM Punk. No one's going to boo CM Punk at this point in his career.
They're not. So, just go face versus face in my way.
I don't know if I'd like that I don't know if I'd like that as a story perspective, but I don't know. We'll see. I just think there's money. We've been talking about Homelander Cody on this podcast for 2 years. I think there's money in Homelander Cody.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if you did it versus Punk. Maybe they have their first match face versus face at like an elimination chamber or something, and then Cody just snaps at the end of it, and that leads into a WrestleMania match. I don't know, but at some point we're going to get Cody versus Punk.
Both would be great heels. It's just
that they would be.
Yeah.
Johnny, who's somebody you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it, so I'm going to go ahead and say Randy Savage was a very inspirational one for me. I already mentioned, Eddie Guerrero and Bray Wyatt. Bray's on my wall, like literally. I don't know if y'all see it right there, but Bray's a huge inspiration to me. Eddie's been a huge inspiration to me too. I know we mentioned Ben Wall already, but I grew up on that Attitude Era, so I very inspirational whenever we're talking about those names. And then of course, whenever I started wrestling and started watching it and getting into it, my brother and my family is like, all right, if you're really going to get into this, then you need to watch the old stuff. So that's when we went back. We had the DVDs and some of the VHSs as well. And we went back and just started watching all the 80s stuff, like whenever the Hogan era. And I think their mission was just trying to get me on Hogan. And I wasn't like feeling Hogan as much. I was more feeling, I was just more feeling, Randy Savage. And I was like, I love what Randy was doing, and I love his impactful on the kids, and I love all of that. So, and I'm still a fan to this day of Randy Savage. And so I've always grew up, me personally, as a Randy Savage guy. So definitely want to give him a shout out on because I don't think we've mentioned him. There's a lot of other guys too. I mean, we're talking CM Punk. I grew up on CM Punk as well. I remember whenever he debuted in ECW, it was crazy. I've been literally followed his career again. Same with Cody. I followed literally remembered watching that debut on TV before Legacy. And I'm just like, dude, this is crazy. And now we're seeing this. There's a lot of names that I can easily go down, but if we're talking legendaries, I have to talk Randy Savage. Definitely.
No doubt.
Nate,
one name for me that hasn't been brought up yet was sorry. Yeah, we can go to Nate.
Me? Someone who I think has been influential. Someone who's personally been influential to me for obvious reasons. Jey Uso, obviously. Just being able to watch his rise in real time and duplicate some of the things that I saw on the screen and put that into my videos, that was a very, very special time. Just, again, you see where he started when I started it in 2022, around November, and then to when I did my last episode in 2025, earlier this year, like just the wave of momentum that he caught and just how over he was. The big reason why those videos did so well, because his guy was over. Everybody loved himself some Jey Uso. Type in YouTube Jey Uso, that's going to be It's an important guy. He's a top guy, and he really helped. Without Jey Uso and his popularity, those videos wouldn't have done as well. I wouldn't have the following that I have today. So that is a guy who personally has been influential to me. Probably the most influential, like, on me personally in my content. So.
I mean, for me personally, the guy that kept me watching wrestling when I didn't really want to watch it anymore, it's Dolph Ziggler.
That's a good pick.
Nick Nemeth. I think Dolph Ziggler, he suffered because of injuries. He suffered because he wrestled at the same time as John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, et cetera, et cetera. But Dolph Ziggler, I could never stop watching wrestling because honestly, I felt like I was letting Dolph down if I stopped watching. So just personally, Dolph Ziggler. One old school guy that hasn't had a shout yet is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, because during a time when wrestling was all about flash, panache, flair, the entrances, the music, the boas, everything like that, Steamboat just made it okay just to be a really good professional wrestler. Just go out there and kick ass in the ring and get your respect that way. And he painted the way for a lot of guys. Names that are obvious, like, I don't want chat to think we're leaving people out. There are names that don't need to be said. Shawn, Taker, Cena.
Right.
I mean, the list goes on and on for guys that don't need to be said. We're just trying to shine some light on guys. I think one guy that deserves a lot of respect, and he's been dealing with his own health issues lately, is DDP. And because wrestlers for a long time, when they quit being wrestlers, they didn't know what to do with themselves anymore. And a lot of times they would let themselves fall into personal disrepair, like Jake the Snake Roberts, for example. And DDP not only showed that you could have a second life outside of wrestling with what he did, but he helped save the second lives of several wrestlers through what he did. So DDP deserves a lot of respect for that. And then one guy that gets overlooked, because The Undertaker was so successful, Undertaker was kind of the first successful aura farmer, I guess you'd say. Like, The Undertaker for most of his career was just about the aura, the outfit, the music, the pallbearers, the flames, the everything. One guy that gets overlooked for being a pioneer for just being a spectacle in a wrestling ring is Sting, specifically Crow Sting during the peak of WCW. If you want to see aura, you don't even have to watch the whole match, because the match involves Hogan, so obviously it's not great. But go back and watch Sting versus Hogan, Starrcade 98, and just watch Sting's entrance. Oh my God. I don't know if I've ever experienced anything live as a wrestling fan watching on television like I did when Sting made his entrance at Starrcade 98. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot more names you could say, but those are the guys I wanted to make sure we said.
I'll say for me, to be brief real quick, the easy answer would be John Cena for sure. He was the only wrestler I ever watched that I ever felt I wanted to be like. Like, if I was a wrestler, I want to be that guy, the top guy. He's cool to me, even through the PG stuff. Like, he's somebody that I would want to be like. Like, if I'm going to be a wrestler, I would want to be in his position. I would want to be him. I want to embody everything that he's about: hustle, loyalty, respect, never back down, never quit. Everything that he embodied about himself as a man. That was something that I always gravitated towards when I was watching WWE back in his peak in his day. So I would say John Cena for me. He was the guy that I looked at watching like, man, how cool would it be to be that guy? You know, like that's how I felt when I was coming up watching John Cena. I know there were people who felt differently depending on your age gap and depending on what era you came from necessarily. But for the people of my generation, there was really 4 names that stuck out the most that people really wanted to be like from the era that I'm from, that I feel that I've heard the most. John Cena is one of them. Jeff Hardy is one of them. Rey Mysterio is another one, and then Batista. Those were like the 4 popular ones that I've heard a lot of people from my era speak about. Like, man, I wanted to be like that guy, or that was my favorite growing up. You know, so those 4 would probably be the ones that stand out from my era. But Cena was always the guy for me. That's why he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Is it me? Is everybody
going? Yeah, let you go real quick. Yeah.
Finn Balor.
I mean, you gonna say that, but yeah. Everybody can say about the common names, but I'm going to speak on the people that made me want to watch wrestling outside of WWE, because I did not grow up in the world where I knew what TNA was in its peak. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know about it. I was still on the younger side. I thought the only thing that there was WWE, right? So, like, I remember NXT when it was a game show, and I was just like, oh, cool, right? Awesome. That's the most non-WWE I had ever got at that point. So the guys that made me want to watch stuff outside of WWE, these are honestly at this point is going to be my 4 Mount Rushmores of Black and Gold NXT. But it's Finn Balor, it's Samoa Joe, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole. Those 4 made me want to watch wrestling outside. Like, oh wow, wrestling can be better than me skipping through the first 15 minutes and just getting to the finish. Like, oh no, I actually want to see what happens at the start of the match. Oh, let me go see what they did when they weren't in WWE. New Japan, never heard of this before. What is this? Bullet Club, like all that stuff that I know about now, I credit to those 4. Finn Balor, that demon was just, to me, that was like, this could damn near be your next Undertaker if you really wanted to. Like at the time, if you really wanted to, right? Obviously, we know how it went later, but if you really wanted to, for sure, Johnny Gargano, the underdog that I feel was always done correctly. Like that's the one underdog. I'm like everybody.
When Triple H knew how to look an underdog.
Him and Daniel Bryan were the only. Johnny Gargano and Daniel Bryan were like, you want to watch an underdog be booked correctly? That's how you do it. Go watch Daniel Bryan. Go watch Johnny Gargano. Adam Cole, to me, was the definition of aura.
Yep.
Never have seen anything you've done before. When he walked in a room, you knew this is your guy. This is your guy. So unfortunate. And Samoa Joe was just a badass. I was always a fan of Samoa Joe. But to me, what let me know, wow, this guy needs to be pushed ever. One program was with Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. I was like, look, this is a shitty pay-per-view, but put the title on him. If there's ever a time to pull a trigger right now, I don't care how he loses it. I don't care if you put it back on Brock. But I need to see a visual win for Samoa Joe over Brock Lesnar. Because to me...
But you didn't.
To me, the way they made Brock Lesnar look, I thought Samoa Joe had looked like the most menacing presence you had ever seen on the television. And I didn't think there was anybody who could fuck with that nigga. Right? Like, I genuinely, watching that program where Brock Lesnar was like, yo, is this what this nigga doing to Brock? Who gonna fuck with this nigga? Right?
And then the promo battle, too.
Oh, my gosh, bro. Samoa Joe literally was... Samoa Joe, to me, was the perfect package. Literally everything you wanted in a wrestler was sitting in Samoa Joe because he can give you great matches. He was good in the ring, elite on the mic, and believable as a character. Like, what else do you
Y'all remember when he told Jeff Hardy to pretend like he was
oh my God.
Everyone.
Hey, you look at me in my eyes when I'm talking to you. We straighten this out right here. Like, dude, hold up.
And then another honorable mention, because obviously he wasn't like Black and Gold NXT like I like. Bray Wyatt as well. Even before he was the Fiend. I thought Bray Wyatt was great until they made the decision to have him lose. He was just a loser. That was the problem. But I was always hooked on every story he told. I was always hooked on, and then obviously Fiend Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt. That shit got it. That's one of the great. That's a top. Oh God, God, the way to ruin it. That's crazy. Way to ruin it. But the Fiend is a top 10 character to me of all time. Like that and I don't care about it because I don't think there's gonna be. Oh my god, when Bray Wyatt and his head cut off on the lantern, bro.
I remember watching, like, I watched that, and then right after that, I watched the watch along. Everybody was talking in the background, and then you see Johnny Gargano is just like, it's like everyone's like making jokes in the background and doing everything. They're partying, they're having fun, and Johnny's just like
Johnny was locked in.
Locked in, dude.
There's very few times in wrestling where like a moment happens that doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna tell y'all a quick little story before because I know we're probably gonna end soon. I recently, well, for those of you who know, I live in Texas. I hate snakes. I recently found a snake at my job, 3 feet in front of me, a rattlesnake at that. I heard the rattle before I saw it because it was behind some boxes. That happened a week ago. I have literally not felt real walking in that locker room ever since because it was at my. I don't even sit at that spot anymore. I don't even sit. That's how much it doesn't feel real. That I heard the rattle of a snake. I'll send the video to the
Stone Cold. That's crazy.
But I wish it was Stone Cold. I wish, because that was crazy. Moments like that, like when I go to think about it, it doesn't feel real. The Bray Wyatt entrance never feels real to me. That SummerSlam entrance will always feel surreal to me. Like Johnny Gargano winning that NXT championship in that match, the goosebumps you felt. When I think back to that, I'm like, this doesn't feel real. Like this was an outer body experience that I will never, ever, ever be able to shake. Like, bro, you see the Undisputed Era come out, and that last shot hit that knee. 1, 2, kick out, bro. I cried. I dead shed a tear. I said, yo, this is why I love wrestling. What's that phrase, Nate? Wrestling is for niggas. Because this right there, I was like, bro, I had never had that much fun watching a wrestling match in so long. Like, it just made, like, that was the day I stopped being embarrassed. Because, at the time, you still like, do I really want to tell people I was a wrestler? I'm like, no. Y'all watch this and tell me you're not a wrestling fan after that. Watch this match and tell me you're not a fan of wrestling after that. Like, bro, oh my goodness.
Dude, it's so hard, and it was so hard to try to convince like a non-wrestling fan to like the reason why I watch wrestling. That's just you can never win them over. Honestly, you can never win them over.
And shout out, and also last honorable mention. I know like he kind of bugging out a little bit. I ain't really seen too much about it, but I knew he was bugging out for a little bit. Velveteen Dream though, that was my guy. I was a big Velveteen Dream fan. Like
I thought he was next.
Bro, I felt he was one of the only few people that could lose every match and it wouldn't matter. Like I think for a minute he lost like every takeover until he fought EC3. It was like
he would have been huge on the main roster, man.
Oh my gosh, bro! I think he's bugging out.
He'd been so over.
He's crashing out.
Oh yeah, he's crashing. I don't know.
Like he made the apology video. I was like, good. They, it was proven that he didn't do nothing, and he had the receipts to prove it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then he started crashing out, and I was like.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I would trust him on the main roster. I ain't gonna lie, because the way they was booking people, bro, I had to see it first, bro.
He would have been over. He would have been over.
I'm not gonna lie, he would have been over though. Like he could have
been over. I don't know if that would have mattered though. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think
he would have been fumbled.
He was one of the few people that could lose every match and it wouldn't matter. Like
yeah, he'd have been like Rusev Day, like just over as hell.
Oh yeah,
we talk about the way people love getting our entrances. That Velveteen Dream entrance on the main roster. TREAN. Oh my gosh, I can just hear the crowd right now. Oh my god.
I feel like that's a guy Vince would have liked.
Nah, you never know with Vince, bro. You never know with Vince.
He would have liked it, but then he would have done
like he'd have been like
Shinsuke
Shinsuke for the first year, and then he'd have been over with after that. You know what I'm saying? Nice little.
He didn't like Shinsuke. You can tell.
We move past it. That's what he would have said. We move past it. Because there's a lot of guys you thought would have been Vince guys. Braun Strowman, Karrion
Kross. Oh my god, I knew that nigga was
guys.
You couldn't convince me. I was like, yeah, this is what Vince want right here. There you go. I was like, Triple H, hey, you literally just gave next top star on a silver platter. Here you go.
The
And
fact that
nigga had
all he got was just an NXT World Championship, when it's just nothing else. It's just so
got ruined
sad,
by a
dude.
Jeff Hardy pin.
It's so
Maybe that's why
pathetic.
I hate Jeff Hardy. I think that's why I hate Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
That shit's despicable.
It was done pretty badly. Like either like Samoa Joe was another one you thought would have been a Vince guy, like just based off his
Bobby Roode.
believability.
Well, once he hurt his knee that one time, I was like,
Bobby
yeah.
Roode.
Once
Bobby Roode.
Samoa Joe got hurt that one time, I was like, yeah.
But see, no, that's just an excuse, bro. If it's always been shown, no matter if you get hurt or not, if they really want to do something with you when you come back, they're gonna do something with you. It's been shown many
But
times.
the people he's done that with are people that have, like, they got hurt after they were pushed. There's a lot of people that, like, once you get hurt that first time,
No,
it's
it's certain people would get that spot. Batista was like that before he was in Evolution. Like he got hurt. He was supposed to be in
Right.
Evolution, got hurt, and they still put him in Evolution.
Well, right, but who did he have? He had somebody advocating it for him, though. And at the time, Triple H still had a lot of as a wrestler. So, like, in that special situation, I get it. If you got the backing of Triple H at that time, all right, cool. Because Triple H is probably your number one guy at that point in time. But Triple H, even though he was more so like backstage more at this time, right? Triple H wasn't moving like that at that time. And Vince was already older, stubborn in his ways. You got hurt. I mean, shit. They literally gave Finn Balor the Universal title run. Got hurt that one time. Never got back. Never.
You got a rematch.
That's what I'm saying. I
You
don't
got a
know.
rematch. You
Rematch
lost
how
to
many years
him.
later?
Yeah.
How
3
many
years later.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
that's what I'm
bro.
saying. I don't know. That tells me I don't know if they really had plans to do something with him though. Because like you could have easily did that when he came back.
But lost
I
him.
don't
there.
know. I don't know though. Vince, because at this time, we got to remember Vince was also very much a flip flopper. He changed his mind like he changed his clothes. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
y'all remember that report where like Gunther was all good, and then that one segment with R-Truth on like July 4th or something, and he was ready. He was about to bury Gunther. Like for what? Like that nigga was a flip flopper at that point. So like
They pick.
I thought that was fake.
They pick and choose with certain people. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like Finn Balor got that moment there. Like he gave a lot of people a moment. Shinsuke won the Rumble. We all thought, oh damn, they actually did something with him, and then we saw what happened after. So it's like, I don't know if they really like. So back in that time frame, they would only do certain things just to make certain fans happy, but they always knew the people that they wanted to use realistically. Before I get to what I'm getting to, I've always used this example. I've said it before. They've always wanted Roman Reigns to be their top champion. That's why they had Goldberg beat the Fiend in Saudi Arabia, because they wanted Roman to go to WrestleMania and be the champion. But if they have Roman go to WrestleMania and beat the Fiend, he's going to get booed, and they were still hell-bent on trying to make him a babyface. He beats Goldberg. Well, nobody's going to care about that. They hate Goldberg more than Roman Reigns, so that's going to be good right there. And it was literally shown when Roman Reigns came back at that SummerSlam, they made a pay-per-view the week later just to put the title on Roman Reigns.
Called
When have they
Payback.
ever done that?
Payback was already it was already announced before.
They did that for him.
Yeah,
They did that for him. There's no other reason for that. They put a pay-per-view the week after SummerSlam. They have never done that before in the history of WWE. Put a pay-per-view the week after SummerSlam just so they can give the title to somebody they already won the championship with. Because Braun Strowman took the title the Fiend took the title from SummerSlam that night, had it for a week just to give it back to Roman Reigns. And then he went on that long-ass run as champion. So they always wanted him to be their champion. That was already shown. That's why they did those certain steps. But then Roman had the leukemia and stuff. So like, oh, we got to find a replacement. All right, Braun, you ain't doing nothing. Let's just throw you in there. And then whenever
It wasn't
Roman
even
wants to
booked
come
for
back,
Mania.
yeah, and then whenever we'll figure the situation out, Roman but they already announced that, but they already knew Roman was coming back before then. So that's why they put that there. Like, we're gonna make sure we put the title on him because he's the guy we want the champion. He would have already been the champion if he never left. He was gonna beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. So
yeah, we all knew that.
those are just things that they always let me get to the super chat real quick. Those are things they always show to those levels. Is Punk a bigger star to leaving despite his physical decline? I don't know about his physical decline. He's been having some good matches though. Punk been having some really good matches though over the last about year, almost a year now.
But I guess his question is Punk a bigger star due to leaving? I think
That plays a part into it a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but like I think if like let's just say CM Punk never leaves.
Well,
I think
earlier
he's
we were
still
talking about on that level.
a top star.
He's still a big star. Yeah, he was already a big star before
Yeah.
that. I think him leaving made people want to see him more though. That
Yeah,
made-
for sure. But I think because he chose AEW to come back to first, I think it was more so Chicago was glad to see him back in his true home. But
y'all know the story behind that, right? Punk went to Vince McMahon in 2018 and he wanted to come back to WWE in 2018, and Vince ghosted him and did not reply back. So because he didn't reply back, he chose AEW.
Yeah, he talked about that in an interview a couple weeks ago. I saw it.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I'm glad he didn't come back in 2018 because it wouldn't have fixed shit.
Nope.
And he wasn't going to be champion in 2018 or 2019. It wouldn't have fixed nothing. If I'm being honest, if he would have came back at that time,
hey, you know what he done? You know what he would have did?
No,
God. With Baron Corbin for 6 months.
Honestly, what they would have done, he would have beaten everybody on the roster except Roman Reigns. So he got Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Make Roman look strong, damn it.
He didn't beat Brock Lesnar. They didn't have beat Brock Lesnar, but once he got to Roman Reigns,
Roman Reigns.
That would have been. Roman. So let's just say he came back WrestleMania in 2018 at 19. Best believe Roman's still there. Yeah, Roman Punk main event. Guarantee you that's the main event.
They could have main evented for sure.
Guarantee you that's the main event.
2018 that would have been.
Damn it.
That'd have been good. That'd have been good to see. All right, just to get some clips here, I'm just going to ask some random questions for everybody to answer. You all can give your own individual answers. Just for your perspective and your opinion, if you had to name 5 wrestlers who you would say are the best bell-to-bell in-ring wrestlers that you've seen with your own eyes, who would be in your top 5? Like these 5.
With our own eyes, like all time?
Yeah, like just your top 5. Like these people I've seen. If you need some graps, go watch one of their matches.
Okay, cool.
I got some because I've been saying it like a long time. CM Punk, AJ Styles, Aleister Black. Me personally, again, another one was Bray Wyatt and Eddie Guerrero. It's just
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. I've always. I mean, I know.
Oh boy, Grabs.
Bray Wyatt and Grabs.
He's
got some bangers, but Grabs. Oh, that one too.
I would say my 5 would be, if I'm looking like for real graps, Shawn Michaels would be up there.
Oof.
Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Bryan Danielson. I gotta say AJ Styles too. Big TNA AJ Styles.
Omega. Yep.
Yeah.
Omega, of course.
Those Kenny's a good one, but those 5 I would be like, you need some real graps. Like, yeah, go watch those matches. Between whoever, Shawn versus Kurt Angle. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. Bryan Danielson in AEW, Bryan Danielson in WWE, Ring of Honor. Like AJ Styles in New Japan, TNA. Like those 5 names would be the ones that stick out to me. Where I'm like, if you're looking to watch like just good matches, I would say those 5 stand out. Who's yours, Ryan? Who do you got?
Brett is a good one for that category.
Very good.
You already mentioned pretty much what I wrote down.
So who's your 5? You said Brett.
Brett, Sean, what I got? Brett, Shawn, Omega, Angle, and Bryan. For like in ring, go. Probably them 5, excuse me.
I mean, obviously, I can go back and watch all of those guys, but just some people that I watched live with my own eyes: Kenny, Gargano, Cole, Aleister for sure. That was a great shot because I was going to say him too. Aleister in his prime, and just from what I've seen, because I can mention AJ and them niggas too. Like I could, but I'm not gonna lie. In his peak, man. There was a run where you couldn't tell me Andrade was giving you bad matches. There was a run Andrade. You couldn't tell me Andrade was giving you less than the peak. Like Andrade was hooping for a minute. Just when we talk about live. Yeah. Like I watched like as it was happening, not back and rewatched Andrade and that Black and Gold NXT, man. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You could
not
he's
taking an average match, making it good.
My 5. Walter / Gunther. That's like that's
my twin.
Oh, I forgot.
Walter Gunther / Gunther. I'm gonna go NXT. Johnny Gargano for sure. Okada. I mean, that speaks for itself. Shawn Michaels, you got to push Shawn Michaels. And if you're looking for woman graps, anything Sasha Banks, Mercedes Renee has done, just across WWE or AEW, more specifically her AEW / like run she's gone on recently.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I put.
I'm not gonna lie. Can I give a couple more honorable mentions?
That's a good one.
Because I totally forgot about Pete Dunne when he was hooping.
Honestly, listen. This is what I'll say. Just go back and watch the mid 2010s UK scene. That's it. If you want real fucking graps, just go back.
Bro. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. We ain't brought it up in a minute. But Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain still is probably one of the greatest tag matches I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, that was so good. But the one where they won, the one where Mustache Mountain won, man, that's one of the greatest tag matches. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Them niggas had no character, in my opinion. They made Undisputed Era had a match with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch or whatever the fuck his name was. That shit was like, oh my god. And them niggas had like were the definition of no character. Like no.
Hey, what is it? What's the opposite? What's the opposite of then the bell rings? Is when the bell. When will the bell ring? That was it. That was literally them.
It was like, please.
Can the bell ring, please? Please. And not because the crowd really did not mess. Yeah, that was them. Literally, this
one and two. They was walking to the ring 1 and 2. Like, bro,
1 or 2.
The crowd did not mess with them at all, bro.
They had bangers though.
They were the only group where I was like, you guys can literally give these guys the commercial entrance to a match.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to see the entrance.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is another good one.
Kevin Owens. Yeah,
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that match is crazy because, like, the crowd didn't like him at first, but, like, as the match progressed, they were like, oh, shit. Because I was like, oh, they actually hooping. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. That match was crazy. That was a good one. That's a good one.
You know, he's not really popular or whatever, but Riddle, whenever he had a match, it was always
Riddle could hoop. He could hoop.
Riddle was having some good matches, bro.
Gee, is that your catchphrase? I'm not gonna lie. That's what Chad's saying.
Is that what Chad's saying?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's crazy? They caught me on it last week too. And it didn't even click till last week.
Someone said 33 times he said it. Someone counted.
And then what made it worse? What made it worse is I was like, guys, do I really say that for real? And then I caught myself saying I'm not gonna lie again. I was like,
2 minutes later, not even.
I'm not gonna lie. Drink it. No name needs to get some merch. We need to get some merch going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Put it on
a t-shirt.
Just G baby doing this.
Put it on a t-shirt. I'm not gonna lie. That shirt was sell.
I'm not gonna lie. Like this.
We gotta have all our faces like this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Those are some good mentions though. They got some good answers. Shawn Michaels. Kenny Omega's another good one.
There's a lot. There's a lot of names.
That's why I hate doing these, man. You're always gonna miss some names, and people are gonna be like, "How?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, man.
There's too many, man.
Yeah, it's too many.
Man, you can
they'd be all right.
Then you got some guy who come up with some name from 70s, like All Japan or something.
Yeah, bro.
Like, man, all right, bro. All right, dog.
You got it,
bro. You got it.
Bro, ain't nobody trying to watch that.
Kenta Kobashi.
Actually, let me stop. Ain't nobody trying to watch when freaking segregate.
Okay, so
how are you gonna miss one of Hakalugi? Like, come on, man.
So before we get to this other ranking, I'm gonna ask this. Now that AJ Lee is back, who are 3 people that you have to see her face? Like, I need.
Shut up! I can tell you right now, the 3 matches we need, no question asked, and I'm not even gonna mention Becky because we know that's happening. The 3 matches we need to see, without question, Io, Roxanne, and I'm not even gonna say Rhea because it's Rhea. She gonna get a match regardless in that world title scene. It's not even gonna be Rhea. She need to fight Stephanie.
Okay.
Io, Roxanne, and Stephanie, and then she can go back to retirement. I'll be straight. I don't need to see nothing.
I'm gonna say Rhea, Roxanne, and Bailey. Those are my 3.
I'm gonna go Bianca, Gordon Grace, and then lastly, Fucking man, Blake Monroe. Just wait till them girls get caught up.
Bro, Bianca, I'm not gonna lie. That
Lou
Bianca match,
Albino.
I forget about her because she hurt. But man,
Yeah,
Bianca
that
and
match
AJ, oh my god.
That cell, bro, AJ was
That's gonna be
her ass.
the easiest EST she ever hit, bro. Light work.
Oh, she might give her a 720. She might give her a
She might
720.
toss her up in the air, bro.
Ryan, give yours.
I think Roxanne's the easy one, like you guys
Yep.
said. Becky,
Obviously.
just because it's so hot right now. And then I think someone in the chat said Liv. I think Liv would bring a lot
be
out
nice.
of AJ as a character.
That'll be cool.
It might be.
Fight
It
over
might
Dom
be soon.
Liv
We'll see
been
what
cooking.
happens.
She got
That'll be
better,
cool.
so I can see that.
All right, so I want to say Bailey for me for sure. I feel like that
Yep.
would be really good to watch. I'm gonna say Roxanne Perez, like many people. And to be different, I would really love to see Sol Ruka and AJ Lee. I think that would be really good.
Well, give it to us. Give it to
Ooh,
us.
that's real graps. I'm not gonna lie. That's real graps.
That's
That's real graps.
Ooh,
So
that's
Ruka-
soul
That
snatcher.
is.
Wait, soul-
I'm not gonna
that's
lie.
soul
I'm not
snatcher?
gonna lie. That's fire.
Ooh, that's soul snatcher, bro. Ooh, yeah.
AJ Lee
Oh,
with
man.
her. I mean, obviously, Sol got to work on the personality aspect and everything, but AJ Lee's character work, I think Sol Ruka is one of the greatest athletes that got in WWE right now. So
Right now, yeah.
pair up
for
with
sure.
AJ
Probably
Lee,
a top 5 women's wrestler in WWE. Like,
athletic wise, yeah. I mean, her athleticism.
Athletic wise, yes. I'm saying.
well, she's not technically yet, but like, so obviously you get rid of the Rhea, you get rid of the Io, you get rid of the Bianca, you get rid of the who am I missing?
Naomi.
Stephanie. Oh, I forgot about Naomi.
I'm talking about athletically. Are you
Oh,
talking about
athletic.
athletically?
Well,
I'm talking
just
about
saying-
athletically.
Oh, so if we switch it to athletically,
She might be
Naomi-
one. What? Athletically?
well,
Like her
athletically,
I would still
she-
give
I
Bianca.
put her above Naomi.
I would still give Bianca the edge. I mean, Rhea,
That's
she's
fair.
just strong. She's not
She's
really
really-
athletic.
I don't know. I feel
She's
like
just
when I'm looking at
strong.
athletically,
Tiffany's athletic, even though we don't like her right now.
when I'm looking at
Tiffany's still really
athletically, like Bianca
Yeah, no,
is,
she is. Yeah.
when I'm looking at athletically, like Bianca is strong athletic. Like Sol Ruka is more versatile. Like she do
Versatile.
things in the ring. It's like she could do things in the ring that the men can do that you don't see a lot of women do.
Like how?
Like,
How? Then like that's the thing.
Yeah.
like, she do things that you've seen the men do.
Soul
but you haven't
Ruka,
seen too many women do
or
that
Soul
shit, though.
Snatcher after top
Yeah,
rope.
you see
How?
like Javon doing
How?
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like she could do like a ricochet move. She could do that. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
I mean,
know
she
if Bianca
low key
can do that.
baby Ricochet. Low key, she baby Ricochet for real.
She's got more personality. Well, actually, Rick said let me stop.
Everybody
Let me
does.
stop.
Hey,
even
yeah,
though
I
he's
was
still
gonna say,
Better on promos.
Yeah, Ricochet. It's
She not
fine.
bald. At least she's not
She-
bald. So.
She'll never have that problem, thankfully.
Yeah, she's a believable baby face that everybody can get
Shout-
behind. She's not corny.
Shout out to Nia Jax.
they
too.
really-
I
if
like
they
to see
really
Nia and
want-
AJ.
Whenever they want to, if they really want to,
Nia,
they-
yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
not gonna lie.
I can see that.
Um,
Nia Jax and
It'll
AJ Lee.
probably happen,
I
but
can see that.
I don't want to see it, but it'll probably happen. Man.
whenever they decide to, though, so Ruka, yeah, she could be one of the top baby faces in that division. Like
Oh, yeah.
sympathy wise, baby face, like she could be like what Bailey was, you know, that little character that everybody feels sympathy for and stuff, you know, because she.
I feel like she can be everything that Riddle was supposed to be. So I feel like her and Riddle kind of have similar because they're both like the
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
surfer
right,
person.
right,
you know?
Yeah.
So like and they're
Right.
like because Riddle was
I can see it.
over.
I can
You
see it.
go
Riddle,
back and
yeah,
rewatch
yeah,
2022,
he was.
2023. That boy was over as
Over.
He
hell,
was.
especially in 2022. But then obviously shit happened. He got let go. But
right,
I think she could be everything he was supposed to be.
right.
Yeah, she embodies that character, that surfer, you know. Yeah. I see that.
Bruh.
Cool stuff.
That's a good one. That's a good. Any last honorable mentions? Somebody that left off?
I think
keep going
character
with
wise, I
it.
think her versus Jada would be kind of cool. A cool mix of
Yeah.
David versus Goliath type stuff. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, we forgetting about her because she been on TV because she doing whatever. But Lyra been hooping as of late. AJ and Lyra
Lyra,
would definitely be
Right,
great.
we'll go crazy.
I'm not a
Kelly
big.
Armstrong.
I'm not a big Charlotte fan, but I think AJ Lee and Charlotte could go hard. Like,
Yeah, Charlotte would be good.
I don't want to see that bullshit.
I think AJ and
I don't wanna see that
honestly,
bullshit.
I'm not a big Charlotte fan. I
don't
I
wanna see
can
that.
appreciate
You
that.
know, actually, let me chill because I think WWE needs to ride this Charlotte baby face momentum she been getting as long as you possibly can. Like,
Yeah.
ride it as long as you possibly can. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see that shit, bro.
not gonna lie though, I need that promo with Alexa and AJ. To quote G Baby, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, imagine
Hey, Alexa
Liv,
Bliss.
you got Liv, Alexa, and AJ, like those psycho
Yeah.
characters, all interacting somehow. That
Oh
shit-
my gosh, Nikki Cross. I mean, dude,
No.
Nikki
No
Cross
way.
plays that character. Really
Not
well.
not Wyatt 6 Nikki Cross.
I don't want any version of
yeah,
Nikki
yeah,
Cross.
yeah. Well,
I
not
don't
Y6.
even want Sanity Nikki Cross. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see
Nikki
that
Ash?
at all.
What?
I don't want Sanity Nikki Cross. I don't want Nikki ASH. I don't want neither one.
Nikki ASH.
Oh, we forgot Bronson Reed. That's Tsunami, bro.
That would be crazy. Hey, Big Eagle come back just to
Hey,
hit her chest.
you need to calm down, bro.
Which one do you think is worse for her to take? A Braun Breaker Spear or a Tsunami?
Oh my god.
Visually,
Spear,
the spear will be.
But it'll be worse
But
because
she got
she's
abs of
laying
steel, though.
flat.
Let's be real.
And,
Let her break
at
her
least
shoulder.
with Bronson Reed, it'll kind of spear through her, but she can kind of like jump and brace for it. Gravity is pulling Bronson Reed down to the ground. Like gravity, Bronson Reed doesn't even jump. It's just a fall. It's just a fall. Like if y'all really watch it,
I don't know. I'm talking about a vicious Braun Breaker Spear, bro. I don't know.
But
She would-
at least she can.
She would
Like,
go.
imagine, I'm talking about how he hit speed in the Royal Rumble, like a spear like that.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Ooh,
speed
yeah, she
spear?
might have to retire.
Oh.
He
She
ain't hit a
gonna
speed
retire.
type. He ain't hit a speed type spear in a minute.
CM Punk might have to fight him. He might have to go back to his all out
You're
ways.
dead, bro.
Brawl out
You're dead.
2022.
That's what I'm saying.
We're about to see
I'm saying-
2022 Punk again.
That's what I'm saying. A peak Tsunami or a peak Braun Breaker Spear.
work
I don't
with
know.
No, bro, that Tsunami's better for her, bro. Braun gonna
Hey,
send her back.
She gonna look like whatever that in Space Jam when they got flattened out. That's what she gonna look like. That's what she gonna look like, bro. I genuinely don't even think she's 100 pounds, bro. I don't even think she's 100 pounds, bro.
She might be just.
She gotta be at least 100, right?
She got some muscle. She got muscle.
Yeah, she's got some
that
muscle.
muscle pushed her to.
I mean, yeah, but bro, like if you in a competition with Alexa Bliss for how skinny you can be, bro, like, and Alexa push.
Wrong going.
Yeah,
The sad thing is, bro, I feel like AJ be like, yes, come on, Braun, hit me. She probably, if that was a spot, she probably like, Braun, like hit me, like for real, like spear me, like for real, like don't go easy on
Sometimes they
me.
do that, bro. You heard them stories about Mae Young back in the day when she get mad at
Yeah,
the
bro.
OG vets when they wouldn't. Mae Young like 70, bro, and she would get mad when they try to protect her in certain spots. Like they were playing it safe. They were like, "Oh, yeah, you a pussy." They were like, "Come on, that's crazy. She's 75, bro. Like it's crazy. Like
You
Oh, double
75,
A's.
man.
Fucking Spiker.
Oh,
like you're
man.
trying to go out there and get like,
Oh, my
hurt,
head.
like, bro, you're 75. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you could die if I do this. Like,
What are y'all talking about?
she's wild, bro.
There's two sluts.
All right, last thing we're gonna do to get off here, just to get some clips to go around. So we got some new individual on here. I'm gonna name a wrestler, and now I'm gonna name some other wrestlers afterwards. I want you to tell me if they've had a better career than that individual. So we're talking body of work,
I'm gonna tell you.
career-wise. Has this individual had a better career? The wrestler is Shawn Michaels. So I'm gonna name some wrestlers,
That's gonna be hard.
and you just tell me if they've had a better career than Shawn Michaels. Now you got to count peak, you count storyline, whatever you want to count as part of it. But when you're comparing their careers, like I would put that above Shawn's career. I wouldn't put that above Shawn's career. So we'll go in order. We'll get one answer at a time. Johnny and Ryan, and then G Baby, and then Nate. Some of these might be easier than others. Some of these you might not have to even think about. Right? It'll be an easy answer. First name we're going to start off with is Triple H.
Sean.
Sean, come on.
Yeah, Sean.
Do we count that as a booker too? Like, does that go into his career?
Yeah. I mean, either way,
You know what I mean? That's why I'll say Sean for now, but I don't want to, Loki.
y'all know my answer. It's Sean, bro.
Undertaker.
Ooh.
For the second one, come on, bro.
Damn.
Ooh, I gotta really think about this though.
I'm saying Undertaker. I'm sorry. I'm saying Undertaker.
Sean has probably a better category of matches. Undertaker is probably bigger in pulp culture. I prefer Sean, so I'm gonna lean Sean.
I'm actually gonna say Taker for degree of difficulty because it's hard to keep that type of character going over the span of multiple decades and people still take you serious. If that debuted today, he wouldn't be taken serious at all. So I'm gonna say Taker.
Only because I have him ranked higher all time than Sean, I'm going with Taker.
Yeah.
Undertaker. Okay. Stone Cold.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Stone Cold. I'm saying Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold has the category to kind of
Yeah.
be in the same category for matches, even though Sean's is much deeper. But Stone Cold's career is only really 5 years, right? But Stone Cold is the rise is just you can't deny that rise and that impact and that height. You can't.
100%.
I mean, I have Stone Cold above Shawn Michaels because of impact to the business. But like when I look at their careers, two peaks for Shawn, match count. Oh, that's tough. But like Shawn never really hit the height that Stone Cold did. I'm gonna say Stone Cold, but like, it's tough. It's tough. I can literally flip flop. Tomorrow I might change my mind.
If we were looking at anybody else with as short a peak that that Stone Cold had, I feel like I would be like Shawn because longevity. But that peak is literally the greatest peak. We would never see a peak like Stone Cold again. So I gotta go Austin. I gotta go Stone Cold.
What about Kurt Angle?
Man, Kurt did a lot for his career. Shawn did too. Wow.
Yes, we are counting TNA.
Oh my gosh.
This is career, so
that's makes it.
Man. I'm going Shawn. I might get ridiculed for that, but I'm going Shawn.
No, you're good. It's Shawn. I like Kurt too.
I like Kurt.
I think Kurt is very. How do I put this? Shawn's probably a little bit more flexible as like a character. Shawn's like, I don't know. Kurt is Kurt. Kurt is great.
Kurt is great.
Kurt, but Shawn, you got rockers, you got Shawn Toy, you got DX'd. Kurt, you kind of just have Kurt in a way. Matches both are great. Probably Shawn has a little bit more depth. A Kurt match is a Kurt match, but it's great. Why, that's what I mean by flexibility. Even though Kurt is extremely flexible, like comedy, main event, so on and so forth. But I just feel there's a little bit more depth with Shawn instinctively.
Yeah, Shawn. I mean, I get Kurt Angle, we love the TNA, but I'm still on Shawn.
It hurts in the childhoods, but yeah.
It's close, but
yeah.
Shawn.
Is that who?
Shawn.
That's fair. What about John Cena?
Yeah, I think without a question for me, it's definitely Shawn. I mean, John is definitely very impactful, but I mean, given we're talking wrestling a career, like, yeah, I think it's got to be Shawn, right?
So I don't think Shawn Michaels has the chops to be that top guy like like John Cena was for all those years in that role in the PG era. But I don't think Kurt Angle has the depth to have the matches, the flexibility that Shawn has. I keep saying Kurt, but Cena is probably a bigger name historically, more meaningful, probably. I just prefer Shawn.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That's this.
I don't want to belittle what Kurt done. Because I keep saying what Cena has done, I don't want to belittle it because it's very important. He was on top from 2005 all the way to 2017, 16, pretty much, right? So can't deny that. And it was at hard times, PG era, coming after Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Coming after the Attitude Era, coming after the Ruthless Aggression Era. That's some hard shoes to fill, right? But he brushed in a whole new era. Shawn could not do that, but I just prefer Shawn.
I'm going Cena. I mean, he's my GOAT. He's who I have as number one. So
why, no doubt.
I can't.
Mm-hmm. I can't.
As far as I'm concerned, nobody's ever made a career than him. So
I can't argue it.
Yeah, my same reason with G Baby. I have him number one all time. So I gotta go Cena.
That's fair. What about Randy Orton?
I knew he was gonna laugh.
Randy is very special to me in my. Oh man, To me, I think Randy has had a phenomenal career. 14-time world champion too at the end, now going on 15. I'm gonna have to say Randy, and it pains. It really does pain.
Well, you pick Randy?
I pick Randy Orton. Yeah.
All right. All this being said, Sean, like they're both kind of like 1As, never really the top guy, either one. You can have parallels, Sean to Brett, parallels,
Yeah.
Orton to Cena, but they never really eclipse that top guy status. And I just think that Michaels has like the depth of the match quality. Not that Orton's is nothing to sneeze at.
No,
Right?
it's not.
No.
It's really not. But I just think at that top tier
Top
level,
tier. Yeah.
Sean has a lot more. I think Sean clears him. And I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Throwback 05 shirt.
Oh, gee.
I mean, I thought, I think me and Nate pretty much on the same link. It's Sean. It's pretty comfortably. You ask
Yeah, I
me,
was saying it is
And I'm not
comfortably.
It's Sean.
I'm not arguing. Like
It's Sean.
Sean's great.
2 Sean's. Let's see. We'll do 2 more. I'll throw out some different ones. What about The Rock?
Sean.
The jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising. I don't know, man. Like no one has
That's
that
hard.
charisma that The Rock has. I know he's kind of looked down on now, just because kind of what he's done the last few years or not have done. But man, no one hit hard as The Rock in that late 90s, early 2000s. Sean never got to that height. I honestly prefer Sean. Sean's like a top 2-3 guy for me, so it's hard for me to not say Sean, but I don't want to belittle what The Rock did or how big The Rock was. And in The Rock's resume, match quality wise, it's not really a sneeze at. You got the Austin series, you have the Hogan match, which is like tip top tier, and they don't really do shit, right? Like they don't do shit. You watch that with no sound on, that ain't nothing. But I prefer, again, the depth of Sean just kind of does clear him a little bit. I do think Sean's a little bit higher, but I don't want to belittle what The Rock's.
No, it's hard. That's the tough thing is
The Rock's a huge star.
He is massive
in wrestling,
charisma wise, great.
Everything. He really is transcendent.
Go ahead, you.
Yeah, it's Sean. I mean, it's Sean. Shout out what The Rock did, but it's Sean.
This is one of the cases where I do have Sean ranked higher, but The Rock, it's The Rock, and he was a pivotal part in the biggest era of wrestling, period. And he was like 1B with Stone Cold, and Sean never reached that level, and Sean was never at that level like that The Rock was at. Even when he came back in 2011, like he still like, even though a lot of that stems from his Hollywood career, like him staying relevant in Hollywood, his WWE career allowed him to transition to a Hollywood career, which was something we hadn't seen at that level. Like, sure, you had Piper and you had Hogan who transitioned to Hollywood, but no one was making the moves that The Rock was doing. And that all stemmed from his popularity in WWE. So, as far as like strictly wrestling, who had a better career, I'm just looking at it as accomplishments and popularity and the heights that they were able to reach for their time period. I'm going to go The Rock by like this much, only because he was able to do a lot at a higher level than Sean was able to do. And Sean wouldn't have been able to make that transition outside of WWE the way to the level The Rock was able to do it because of his wrestling career. So I'm going The Rock.
Last one, OTC, Roman Reigns.
Then Sean? Yeah, I'm going Roman Reigns.
It's hard to live in the moment and say Roman
hard.
Reigns, but you can just look at the impact that he's had. We went on a 20-minute sidebar about him saying no pop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it's just like, what does Roman Reigns come once he goes into Hollywood? Does he get to the level of a Cena or The Rock, right? Does he have these blimps that will make him even bigger, that will make this era that he's in even bigger? In his resume, it's there now. You know what I mean? It's there. The Cody matches, the Sammy matches, his whole title reign, 1,300
Bloodline,
16
just the
days,
bloodline.
stories. Yeah, Sean started DX. Sean had the boyhood dream. Sean, he had his shit too, but nothing Sean did is top 3 in the company's history from a storyline.
Over 1,000-day reign.
Yeah, it's hard. And he has the numbers to back him up. Like the 316, Sean had, 10 months, if that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. that one's hard. That one's hard. I'm gonna circle back on that. Let me marinate on that one for a minute.
I'm an early to the party kind of guy. It's not gonna be popular now, but it will be. I'm taking the Tribal Chief. It's not gonna be popular now, but later on it will be.
I got 2 words. Big Dog.
I knew you was gonna say it.
Shawn Michaels is a fucking clear. Big Dog, get that shit out of here. Shawn Michaels never had a big dog. Get out of here. It's Shawn, all the way.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna bring up the Big Dog, which 2 bad years. It's not moving.
Really bad at the main event level, by the way. Not just like some mid card stuff that
No,
like Rocky Maivia.
No, I feel you, but hey.
Like that main event to WrestleMania. He has literally one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. Like he has a couple of them. 3 of them. 3 of the worst of all time. 32 to 34.
What was 32?
Trash.
Triple H.
Yeah, that was the worst main event.
What was 33?
That was the worst main event.
Undertaker.
Oh shit.
Yeah. A 3-peat of ass.
I mean, that is, hey, I'm not gonna lie, that is trash.
They planned for it. By the way, they made a plan to have him main event 4 WrestleManias. And 3 of them was cheats. They were trash.
Hey, look, man.
How do you plan a 3-peat of just garbage?
Hey, look, man. I'm not saying you wrong, Nate. I'm not saying you wrong. I feel you 1,000%. I feel you.
All right, so 31 hit.
But he's got.
I see what he's saying.
He's got 2 generational peaks, though. If we keep it a buck, he's got 2 generational peaks.
So does Shawn.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, that's literally what I'm saying.
With no big dog.
But
he has no lows. He has no lows to the level of the big dog. Shawn's biggest low came after he retired. That's his biggest low.
I'm literally.
That was one match that allegedly happened.
I'm with you, but he don't have Tribal Chief high either, man. So it's like you pick. Look, I think
it balances out. Roman's career balances out, but then Shawn has literally no lows aside from 20 that match that allegedly happened.
And Nate, that's why I say I get where you're coming from.
97 Shawn is awesome.
Roman has like the
I just don't think Shawn got the Tribal Chief.
Roman has like the most 50-50 career because to Nate's point, I think Roman and Brock is the worst WrestleMania main event I've ever seen. But then Roman and Cody, I think, is the greatest WrestleMania main event I've ever seen too. So he got like the worst.
Run through the 11.
That's tough.
So 31 is a hit. 32 ass. Yes. 33 ass.
34.
Yeah. 34. 37's good. 38's bad. 39's great.
Fantastic.
40.
Brock.
4-4.
Brock. Yeah.
40. I don't. 38. I don't really look at it like that because he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, I know. We'll just play.
I feel you.
It was in the middle. It's literally in the middle.
Night 140. What?
He hasn't had a bad main event since 38. Everything else.
Like 41 was fire. So it's
39, 40, and 41 are like
great. A trifecta of great.
So, and you know what? You're right. He got a 3-peat of ass and he got a 3-peat of elite. So, like, I feel you, Nate. I really feel you. I'm not even mad at you for putting Shawn. I think he got one more in him. I think he got one more main event in him. You feel me? And I think that's just going to be peak elite, beautiful. And then
burn out that cokehead was putting on classics. What are we talking about? That's what had him put on the classics. What are we talking about?
You said what?
You said we're praising cokeheads now. Yeah, I mean, that's why he was able to put on bangers. Shout out to the 80s, man. Bringing in cocaine.
Don't everybody love Pergame?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So
Ryan, who's your answer, man? You gotta give an answer.
Do what you want to do in your heart, man. I know you.
Yeah, man.
do
you do.
My heart's
Yeah,
saying-
exactly.
here's the thing. All right, my heart's saying Sean because that's who I don't know though, but my head's kind of saying Roman. I don't know. Fuck it. 1, 2, 3. Roman.
No.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
I feel how everybody feels like Roman's highs are really high. Sean may never had a high, but Sean also doesn't have a low either. So
It's
it's
a
like,
great
at that
point.
level of Roman. So it's like, which one? I guess it depends on which one you value more.
And so to me,
The highs
this
are the
is
highs,
a
though.
to me
Sean's
up
highs
until
are
maybe
really
last
high,
year.
though, too, though.
But to me, up until like last year, and I'm gonna use an NFL comparison. This is the Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow debate, where Josh Allen, his highs have reached higher than Burrow, but Josh Allen also be throwing some CTE balls a couple of games. Whereas like you looking like you was a bust. Like what are you doing? Right? So his be more roller coaster, whereas Joe Burrow is more like right here. Like he gonna give you the same Joe Burrow. Now Josh Allen cleaned it up last year, so like maybe it's probably
But I
more
don't know.
clear.
If I can
But
say-
that's what I'm
I don't know-
saying.
I don't know if
I
I
think
can
that's
say
more
Josh
of a-
Allen. I don't know if I can say his highs are bigger than Burrow's though, because he never.
They are.
He never been to the Super Bowl though.
But he's clear. That's
That's
very-
the end all be all. That's where you want to
No,
get.
but it's logistics. It matters how you played when you got there. And that run for the Bengals, if you really look back at it, yes, he played great in the second half versus the Chiefs, but a lot of that was mid, and the defense was carrying. Josh Allen.
No, yeah.
Josh,
Plays
we're talking about performance, though. I'm talking about performance because
performance.
it doesn't matter how far you get. Because, again, Josh Allen literally played perfect and lost in 13 seconds because his defense couldn't make a tackle.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. We look at performances. Josh Allen's performances in high pressure situations clear Joe Burrow. They clear, but he also got some really bad performances that Joe Burrow never had. So like that's why I say it's a lot more up or down. Whereas Joe Burrow's a little bit more consistent, and you take into account regular season as well. Josh Allen got a lot more games. Like there's a game I vividly remember versus the Jets. He punted the ball. He punted the ball to whatever safety that was 3 times. Like literally just launched it to his hands. Like, what are you doing? But there's also games that nigga was perfect. Like that nigga was in every freaking back shoulder tight window. You know what I mean? That's why I say like that's what I look at it more. And it's a matter of do you value more the consistency with like I don't want to say flat line, but like the steady, or are you gonna take the highs with the lows? I think that's
Allen is way more upside. But Burrow is way more flatline good.
Right. And you're right, Josh Allen. In this situation, I feel like Shawn Michaels was definitely a lot more good, no bad. He had his highs, but like, and he had the peak storytelling like towards the end of his career, right? And he's had it at the beginning as well, but I'm saying it was a lot more like, hey, Shawn is always going to give you great. Whereas Roman, he gave you some like, Jesus, this is horrific. And then he gave you some generational, ain't nobody else ever going to do this again. Like, so it's kind of like where you got to, and that's why I say, I don't blame you for taking Shawn. I really don't hate it. You know, just I'm a little bit more biased to the top of cheese.
It's always going to be, I feel like, Roman's, I guess, kryptonite, I guess, when it comes to his career, because he has the bad, but he has the good now. So it's like, when you rank him, where do you place him? Because I think many people have him top 10, but it's like, then where do you put him in that position? Shawn Michaels, like you said, has always been very consistent with, like,
He didn't miss.
he may have had some bads here and there, but not really. Like Nate said, like his worst may have been DX versus Brother Destruction, and that was after he was retired for
He was
years.
the best part of that match.
He was the best player.
That says something, bro.
Yeah.
That's saying
He was
something.
the guy who was the best part of that match, you know. So, realistically, I guess it just
I mean, when the bar already hit, no, okay, let me not do that. I'm being nasty.
All right, fellas, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Make sure you guys subscribe to the pod. Thank you guys for coming through to the show. As always, Johnny and Ryan, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come to the show. Make sure you guys, I'll let you guys plug in your socials real quick to everybody where they can follow you, check out your stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, the Johnny Mayhem, all lowercase, and you can follow me on TikTok, the Johnny Mayhem, all lowercase, or you can do it just like this, like and you see it on here, the Johnny Mayhem.
You can follow my IG or just follow the North-South Connection.
Make sure you guys go check them out. We'll be back next week reacting to some of your takes that you guys have that we're going to be sharing. So that should be interesting because
Awesome.
some people have
What
some.
episode is this? 86? That means we 14 on the way to 100, man. Y'all keep subbing, man. We
Let's
14
go. Let's
We're
go.
14 away from 100, man. We got to do something big, man. We got to talk about it, man. 100 episodes.
We'll figure something out. We'll try to come up with an idea.
Hopefully there's not a pay-per-view that night.
Matter of fact, we should probably look at the calendar and figure that out. We really should.
Yeah.
Well, they might announce something ahead of them. We don't know.
So wait, what is this? 86? So let's see.
Yeah, we got a couple of months.
89, 90, 91.
Because that Sunday WrestlePalooza and All Out,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a no-go.
December 14th would be our.
I'm gonna be at WrestlePalooza anyway, so
December 14th is
final match.
Is that the weekend?
Mhm.
December 12th, that's the final
13th.
match?
Yep.
Oh, 13th Saturday Night Main Event. Oh,
Yep.
boom. So December 14th, that'll be a Sunday. Hopefully there's no AEW show. That'll be our 100th episode. It'll be John Cena's last match. We'll probably talk about that. Well, we gotta make it big though. We can start doing predict. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely trying to start doing prediction wars and prediction
wars.
Yeah, like whoever gets the most right, you can make a bragging right thing, and
You get like a title.
hey, I'm not gonna lie, we can get one. The no name title.
We can do a digital check. We should do like a digital.
We could. I know.
Not like a physical, but like a digital.
No, we can get a physical. I know how to get one made. I can get somebody to make it, and like he just
You gotta
whoever
ship that
wins. Yeah, whoever wins, he's got to send it to ship it. Just send it to that person. Just mail it to whoever's gonna get it in a box or something. Like hey, send it to whoever. So I know I got
Better hope there ain't no pay-per-views that in like 2 weeks of each other.
No, that'd be tough.
I think we'll do. I think the way we'll separate it will be like you won't change hands like every single pay-per-view. Like there's got to be a point system.
It's like the 24/7 title.
Yeah, like we don't want to do it like that. That's too much. It might be like there's a period of predictions that
You can do a part-time schedule, Roman Reigns style.
That's crazy.
Defend it on certain occasions.
We can do like a number one contenders thing.
Yeah, number one contender.
So the person don't kind of keep shipping that shit out.
Yeah, literally.
Just imagine, because this year we had
I'm broke.
Evolution. We had
that would have
been pissed.
Fuck.
That stretch right
I
there
would have had to
was
say the
crazy.
title second they come into the crib. Like
Right, like damn, I already lost. I didn't get to hold the damn title.
That stretch was crazy because they had NXT, you had AEW, you had Evolution.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And we can do like legit. We can do like a Money in the Bank type. We can do how like you send us like, hey, here are the Royal Rumble winners and who are the like you send everybody like there's 6 of us, so it'll be like 1 through 6, 7 through 11, or 7 through 12, whatever. We can do something like that. Like, hey, you win the Rumble, you get a title match automatically. Whoever's the champion. I have WrestleMania predictions.
Yeah, we can do something like that.
Type shit.
All right, fellas. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. No Name Wrestling.